Hello.
Hi. Hi. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, audience.
Hey, to the audience that's watching.
Fucking star spawn, bro. Star spawn. They're restless. They got RLS. Restless leg syndrome. I had it as a child. That's why I wasn't allowed to sleep in my parents' bed, because I kicked the shit out of them.
I think also because parents shouldn't indulge their children like that all the time.
And I would kick the shit out of them.
and I would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now do it again.
Remember that?
I fucking called it.
What do you mean you called what?
Yeah.
What are you talking
Oh,
about?
nothing.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Talking about Star Spawn as if it relates to our campaign. Did
Yeah.
I miss something?
Yeah, are we about to fight a star spawn?
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Are
you
you
should just
about
watch
to
the
play a Star
TLDR,
Spawn?
find out.
Or been here 2 weeks ago.
You don't know about
I was
star
here 2 weeks
spawn.
ago.
That was in my head. You get out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Mike. I'm not Godric.
We're Legion.
No, this is Mike.
They are Legion. I am Legion.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Is it you?
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Or is it Red Eye?
Doesn't matter.
Old mad.
Might be one and the same.
Makes you wonder. I have a song about that.
Somewhere. Maybe. You have a song written.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of songs written. He has songs written about each of your characters.
It's a project.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a
a
long
bar.
term.
Yeah, I was working on Godric's today.
This is
And it was
song
not
called,
going very well.
Strum. Otheon is boring. Done.
He's got some family issues. Done.
No?
That'd be a
My
funny way
family's
to.
good.
I think of all of
Just-
us, he has the least family issues.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have one.
That's true.
That simplifies things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're like super well adjusted, so well adjusted that there's got to be something lying underneath.
Yeah.
Like some horrible black ichor of
Yeah, what?
toxicity.
It's called the death.
Oh,
the
that is
death
so
spiral.
fatalist. Look, some things can be healthy when they look healthy. It's true.
It's not true for reality, but it can be true in fantasy.
Yeah, we are playing in a fantasy setting. A fantasy where...
You'll find out. You have a date this weekend.
Look, I do have a date this weekend. I'm really excited for that date, actually.
Is she watching right now? Is this part of the pitch?
She texted me earlier and was watching. I have no idea if she's watching right now.
Oh.
But she was watching, yeah.
Wait.
Whoever you are, this is just an act. Anyways,
What, me now?
It's all
Yeah.
illusion.
Yes, I'm
it's
acting.
all an illusion.
I'm acting? Oh, is that what?
You forgot to raise your hand dramatically. Acting.
Acting.
Yes.
Acting.
For those unfamiliar, you're supposed to be holding a skull or Shakespeare.
Or
Alas.
Horatio.
Alas.
Horatio?
Yeah.
Horatio.
I know.
Oh, it's Yorick.
Is it York?
Yeah, I knew him well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there.
I knew him
Right
well.
there.
Who's Horatio? That's another
Um,
character in one of his things.
Rosencrantz, Guildenstern are dead? Is that one?
We're going on our honeymoon to Italy, and I was looking at, where
We're
we're
not
going to
even married. Why would you say that?
It might make sense
Yes,
that we
Dave.
wasn't referring to you and I then.
You were looking right at him, though. I'm just saying.
She's looking past him and talking to me because I'm interesting.
But so we're
And
looking,
Kobo
and I was
broke.
like, oh, well, we could go to Verona and off ourselves at the end, and he didn't get it.
Aw,
I
dang.
was
That's
like,
pretty
oh,
funny.
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
But
Well,
then I
missed
had to explain it
opportunity.
to him because
What's
he's like,
the,
what are you
what's the lucky number
talking
for
about?
tonight?
Why would we do that? And I was like, that's where Romeo and Juliet took place.
All right.
Come on.
All right,
21.
15 it is, because one of those is not his number.
It's
that can-
15. You can't roll a 21.
Don't tell people what they can't do, Alex.
Yeah.
You can certainly try. Oh,
That's
I can definitely go into that and change it so they can roll a 21. Just to fuck with
You could, but currently, as it states...
it's representative of D20.
Yeah.
You only roll a 21 suck.
You guys are ruining my day.
Wait.
So you're going to where?
Barcelona.
Italy.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Thanks for inviting me.
Jesus.
As-
You don't have to be
As
invited to
you
everything.
pointed out, we're not getting married, so it really wouldn't make sense for me to take you on a honeymoon.
It's a public place, though. There's no reason I couldn't go and just, experience the honeymoon with you and Will.
There is a reason you couldn't do that.
Well, but is it a good
He doesn't have to
reason?
share the same
Yeah,
room
I
as you.
would say so.
Yeah, I can get the room across the hall.
I want to
Yeah.
express she's
I can
more,
be your bodyguard.
I want
for
to
the entire
express that
trip.
she is more offended about you trying to come on the honeymoon than the
Then
wedding.
trying to go to the wedding?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, it's not happening. With the wedding, you won't even let me go to the wedding.
With the honeymoon, you're like,
It's
get the
small.
fuck out of here.
Look, all I wanted to do
The two of us
All
don't
I
take
wanted
up
to do
much
was
space. I'm just
protest
saying.
mid-wedding. That's it. I just wanted to protest.
Yeah.
There will be no protesting.
I just wanted to be able to like when they're like, speak now or forever hold your peace. I was like, I have something to say.
He's not
And then
gonna
I was
say
gonna
that.
filibuster the wedding. Just filibuster it. Just start talking about the institution of marriage.
There's no constitutional right to filibuster my wedding.
What?
Hey,
Look, I'm a political science major. I'm pretty sure there is.
I mean,
There's gotta
I'm
be one in there
my
somewhere.
wedding major, and I'm pretty sure there's not.
You win this time.
wow, Bride's
1 point to Gryffindor.
But don't worry, I might
She
be
is
able to
not a
go.
Gryffindor.
If
No,
not wanting my
with the
wedding
way she just
filibustered
approached you
makes
right there,
me a bridezilla,
Slytherin.
I think I'm okay with it.
Oh,
Slytherin all the way over there in the corner.
If you feel like working the entire wedding and missing basically the entire thing, we could probably get you there. Maybe.
Ooh, I like it.
Depending on what she decides and how.
What'd you say? Are you going to the wedding?
I mean,
Oh yeah, you missed all this.
Yeah, you missed all of this.
Yeah.
What happened? Is he bartending your wedding?
Actually, there's a strong chance, depending.
That will work too, possibly.
hey, I'll go with you.
Yeah,
What's going on?
I'll go with you to her wedding.
I offered to cater.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, so we have some tastings that we're going to, and
Yeah.
we'll see.
I can do it way cheaper than whatever the fuck they're offering. It's up to them. There's no set in stone. They got a year to decide.
But your face when he said he was going
It was beautiful.
worth everything.
You were so
Yeah, you were so
upset.
upset. It's
Almost
not
as
like
upset as Mike was.
to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't be at the wedding if the reception's in a different place, especially. I'd be there all day cooking, all day, because it's barbecue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But
it's
you'd
like,
be having fun.
I enjoy it, but you know.
Yeah, almost as excited as Mike left when he heard about Star Spawn.
You know
Being
the
restless.
you know the Hitman video games, Agent 47. He's like the bald guy. He can change his outfit and everything.
No, I've never heard of him.
I'm gonna
Not
shave.
once.
I'm gonna shave my head, and
They're
then
pretty
I'm
niche.
gonna shave the whole head, and then that's how I'm gonna get into your wedding. I'm gonna knock somebody out, take their outfit, and you won't realize it's me because my head will be shaved. You're like, he probably belongs here.
He probably belongs here.
It's video
Make sure
game
you keep
logic.
your glasses on, dude. That's
No, you gotta take them off. That's a whole different person. Clark Kent can do it.
Oh no, it's the hair twirl for Clark.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
Well, I'm gonna shave my head, so
Means I can't do the
I'll
hair
draw
twirl.
one on.
Charlie Brown over here.
I have another
So
idea. It's a
does
year
Matt
away.
turn evil and kill us all now?
Exactly.
Is that what happened?
That's my
Is
plan.
your,
Yeah, end the
is your
campaign.
fiance
Cool.
on Facebook?
We're done from there.
No.
So,
Here we go.
Andy, let's just
I'll
finish
find
this
some
up
way
real
to
quick.
befriend him.
Yeah.
I got my level 20 stats.
Yep. Exactly. Let's go.
And then he'll be like, "Look, man, I want you in my wedding party."
He's already picked his wedding party.
You have a year to change that.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you
I just want look. It's a very special day for you. It's a very special moment, and I want to share in the experience of standing up there in the wedding party, looking at you smug as fuck because you said I couldn't come.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah,
It's not
I
about
agree.
me.
I never.
It's
That
about
sounds
you.
about you.
Looking
You
at
guys
me.
are making it act like I walked in here and maliciously said none of you are coming.
Isn't that what happened?
You know,
That's how I remember it.
Tara,
That's
thank
exactly how I remember
Bring
it.
it up
I have
in the
nightmares
first
about it.
place.
The memories in black and white. It's all grainy.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah, it's
storming.
like an old film.
Yeah. You had this like pencil thin mustache, twirled, and a top hat. I remember it clearly.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to say.
And then you helped me fix my car.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
Might
I would
have
like
been
to
a dream.
say thank you for not inviting me to your wedding because weddings often tend to suck.
What?
That's true.
Weddings are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I have been to
No.
several weddings, all of them good.
Maybe you're just bad luck.
I guess I don't know. I blame society, but divorce rates being what they are and all. I don't know.
No, but see, that's a
Jeez.
divorce. There's no divorces at the wedding.
Yeah, the
Live in the moment.
weddings
They can get
just
divorced
aren't that
later.
great.
Not you
Yeah.
guys.
They're not that great.
I
Just
Thank you
people.
for
Full blessings.
satisfying.
People in
and
general.
hopes.
I'll
Yeah.
give you this:
People in
receptions, all right. Weddings themselves, not that great.
I'm just saying she's spending a lot of money to convince us that Will isn't a hired actor. Just saying.
No,
It's
I'm
pretty
not
crazy.
spending any money because he's not a hired actor.
Is he not a hired actor because he's not
you
real?
claim to be a hired actor. That's all I
He
gotta
is
say.
real. Andy
Oh
and
my
Mike
God.
met him.
Well, we met a
He
person
claimed
who
to be
claims
paid
Will.
$100.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
playing D&D now.
Yeah.
All right,
Please.
boundaries up. Let's go do it.
$100.
Let's go.
Money changed hands.
She's like, I immediately cast polymorph on the DM.
It reflects off of me because I'm immortal and hits Ulthion. He's now a frog. Anyways.
Haha! Joke's on you, I was always a frog.
True form. Anyways. Yeah. So, let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh, yeah. Trin
Polymorphous simulacrum.
exclaims, "Welcome to Coenwald," throws open the door from the storeroom, and there's an empty storefront. And it's great.
Where's the street?
Oh, it's a little further, but you're in Coenwald now.
No, I'm in the closet.
In Coenwald.
You said the street was here.
No, I never said that. I said welcome to Coenwald.
I did.
I didn't say welcome to Main Street, Coenwald, Terrowyn.
Would all of you mind terribly getting out of the way?
I step out of the way.
I stand in the door and then kind of hesitate for a moment and keep going.
Oh, yeah.
I walk through.
I'm not familiar with the storefront.
It looks very run down.
Yeah. So the building appears to be fairly drab and in great disrepair. There's stains on the wall panels, and like everything you touch, like a layer of dust kind of comes up. The first floor, like where you are, the storefront, the shelves they're filled with potions and like elixirs, but nothing beyond mundane. There's various trinkets in the room and charms and simple magic tomes packed into every nook and space that they could find for them. But aside from that, it's fairly unassuming. Aside from the fact that on the counter, there is a really large toad just sitting there, and it's just kind of staring at you all as you're leaving the room.
The fuck is
and
that?
walking into the storefront.
It appears to be a Totus finalis.
I'm gonna walk over and I just touch it.
Well, why would you do that?
It just croaks. Right.
It's fucking
How
huge.
large is very large? Like dog sized?
Yeah, like dog size.
It's
That's
fucking
huge.
massive.
Mhm.
Like, why would I not touch it?
I stand.
Yeah, more like cat size, actually.
It can,
Yeah, that's small.
it can
Yeah,
eat Trin.
small dog size.
That's
true.
why I'm not
Alright.
touching it.
I stand between the toad and Trin.
Or
Just no quick movements near the toad. They just shove everything in their mouths. It's disgusting.
it just keeps staring at you all, blinking.
I mean, we can probably just leave. I don't think we have any business at this store, do we?
I have no business with the toad.
Bye, Toad. I walk over the front door.
Bye.
Wait a minute.
No, you said goodbye.
No, the toad's strong.
I like ineffectually try to shove Godric out the door,
Yeah.
but he's massive and I
Bye,
can't.
speaking Toad. I'm coming back. And I open the door.
All right.
Everybody's here, right? Nobody left behind.
I mean,
No, everybody's here.
okay.
Is,
okay.
are,
Yeah,
are we sure
everybody's
that the Toad isn't like a friend of Thane's?
Well, hold on. By everybody, I meant like Misha and Korup as well. Right? They're here.
Yeah, they came with you.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got him.
Sure.
Yeah, but you thought you were forgetting them, but then you didn't forget them, but then they kind of still guilt trip you a little bit.
They still got forgotten.
If you forgetting
No
someone,
other
did you forget them?
hitchhikers? As far as we know.
As far as you know.
Every portal we go through, I'm casting that spell. We're fine.
All right. So where are we going to next?
Who here's been to Coenwald before? What was that?
That was the Toad.
That was the chime from the doorbell as you left.
Oh. That's a chime.
Yeah, I've been around.
All right.
I'm trying to fix something real quick because it's,
Well,
it's not working.
where to? Should we have a battle
Um,
plan?
I don't know. Where are we going to first?
I think we need to go see Madame Ophelia first, right?
Yeah, we should probably get you to see Mrs. O.
All
Should
right.
we-
Where is she?
Check into a tavern first, perhaps.
Yeah,
There we
drop
go.
the
No,
stuff.
I wasn't working
Like,
on
I don't
that.
think
That's really
Burp
weird.
really needs to come necessarily. Nothing against Burp specifically. Just saying we don't. Not everyone has to come.
Are you suggesting that Burp isn't part of the group?
No, I'm just saying it can get kind of crowded. Is all.
If this is about our time in hell, you could probably stay behind too if you're not
Ah, that's
interested.
fair. Right. Do I need to be there?
You don't have to be there.
Well, Trin, would you like me to be there?
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
All right, then I'm there.
I'm gonna, as we're leaving, I'm gonna reach down and kind of lightly grab you and just pop you on my shoulder like normal.
Oh, thank you, Godric.
Of course,
Oh,
I couldn't carry you through a portal, but I can carry you now.
Teleportation is so hard on the body.
It's hard on the legs when they're short.
they are. It is so hard on the legs. Look at them as I put my leg in your face. Oh, it's so dainty and delicate.
I just like reach up and flick
So-
Ow!
flick the calf.
So stepping onto the paved and hard stone streets, you find yourselves in an exceptionally busy, like, general goods and wares district. The streets are packed. The amount of people walking in front of you, around you, you're going to have to push your way through everybody. There's vendors open up in the shops and flower carts, everything that you can think of is kind of being sold here out front. And several people have been apparently waiting in line to enter the storefront behind you, which, as you kind of look up to see, it just says Thane's Curios. And they kind of just, oh, so is he open? Can we go inside? Is Hector in there?
I did not see a single Hector.
No?
No.
That's strange.
Is Hector
What was...
a toad?
No, but I assume since you met Mugwort, then that means Hector must be nearby.
Well,
Either way, I have an appointment for an important potion, so I'm going inside now. He just walks past
simply
you.
couldn't care about that.
Yeah.
Don't steal, or if you do, don't get caught.
They look at you.
I lean in and turn around and like see if he walks into like the disheveled, dirty area and what he does.
What, the customer?
Yeah.
Just walks inside, walks straight up to the counter, and you see momentarily, as you guys are kind of walking by, you see a what looks like an older tiefling gentleman kind of come out from the rear of the building and walks towards the counter, and they start talking and they're gesturing to one another, and then he pulls out an item and exchanges some gold, and then the customer comes out with the item, which looks like it's some sort of box. It's a very simple box, nothing crazy about it.
Read the sign again. What's it say?
Thane's Curios.
Ah, weird.
Do you not know what a curio is, Godric?
No.
It's
Well,
a curious
What about
thing.
a knick-knack?
Anyway,
Give a dog a bone.
How is it that everyone in every culture on this planet knows that rhyme?
this is a good rhyme.
It was made by a famous bard.
It's
Yeah.
horribly infectious.
So it's just like
no,
a trinket shop.
yes.
Mm.
Well, not
Magical
just
trinket?
trinkets, but
Okay.
sometimes it's a catch-all.
The outside of the store seems to kind of match the interior anyways. It's not necessarily any cleaner or well put together. The plaster is coming off. There's cracks in the walls. All the buildings, most of Bravadas are mostly half timber or stuccoed.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the buildings, though, are like multi-storied. Being in the street you are, Thane's Curios is like 4 stories tall, and so are most of the buildings on this street.
Dang.
Further down to the right, when you kind of look towards the east, basically most of the general shops just dissipate into row houses, 3 or 4 stories tall. Coenwald is the single largest and most well-developed city within the boundaries of the Empire. Its vast and well-fortified defenses contain the elite knights of the Reichsguard and 2 regiments of the state's army. The city stretches across a river which opens up into the Flamberge Bay, where this massive trade port takes in at least 100 ships a day or so coming into the ports. The city itself contains close to at least 500,000 men, women, orcs, goblins, all manner of people live within the city walls, who work in these vast manufacturing districts that are responsible for most of the goods and weapons that the various states actually need in their war efforts or day-to-day lives. The city has perfectly learned to utilize gnomish magic to create like everlasting street lamps on most city streets and steam-powered bridges and cranes that operate within the ports. The city is just an industrial hub of magic and goods that are pushed out to every corner of the Empire.
While we're walking to keep up with Godric and the goblin on his shoulder, I'll turn and walk backwards to address Katarina and Locke.
Mhm.
Keep in mind we're back in Bravatas, and on the fringes we may have gotten away with it, but here in in this city, refrain from the magic, especially the dark type.
Trin, have you been...
And no sooner than he says that, than 4 or 5 guards wearing the Inquisition symbol, like, actually come onto the street alleyway and turn, and one of them points at a building, and they basically just barge through the front door and go inside.
Trin,
Yeah.
I have a question.
What?
Do you know where the bank is?
Yeah.
We need to stop there, because I don't want to carry this large bag around.
Well, there's a bank, a couple.
As you say that, someone bumps into you and just goes like, "I'm so sorry," and my bad, and I didn't mean to do that. You're just so large and the street's small. Either way, and he just keeps going.
Check.
It's there.
It's just lighter now.
All I care about what's in my hands, what's in my purse. So,
What was that?
what?
Well, you checked everything. It's almost like you recounted it.
Oh, yeah, pickpockets. Happen in that marathon sometimes.
As they steal things from you. I understand a pickpocket, but is it that common?
I don't know it. Big city. I don't like it.
Make
Mendrathis is a big
make
city.
me a perception check real quick.
Yeah.
Both of
I
you.
can do that.
Thank you.
I can do that. I can do that.
I want to see how good of a general sense of awareness you got of the street and its conditions and the people there.
Advantage on those.
Trin, you make me a
That's the spells.
make me a survival check and then do so with advantage, please.
All right.
Nice.
I want you to make me an Arcana check real quick as well, Katerina.
There's a lot of checks. I got nothing.
I have some stuff to go over. So
20 even.
20 even?
13.
13?
Ooh, not that great. 10.
10? That's good enough to know get your way around the city districts. So Trin kind of jumps out front and he's just like pointing, he's like reading some street signs and he's talking to a couple of the locals
I feel like he's
and they're
standing
helping
on my
orient him and where to go. And he comes back, he's like, "Oh, I know how to get where I need to go to get there." You take a good look and kind of scan around. You notice that the vast majority of individuals on the street look like they're definitely shopping and the stores are exceptionally busy and people are just going in and out and buying all sorts of wares. But ultimately, you realize that you as a group sort of stand out. You're overdressed, over-equipped, and there are some less than absolutely savory individuals who seem to be keeping their eyes on you. I mean, aside from the fact that you pick up them, and then there's also a few prostitutes up ahead on the corner. But it's not like it's a bad area of town, but it's dense.
Yeah.
And there's a
Busy.
lot of people packed into the street for sure. You feel an innate connection to the weave, almost the same as you did in Midheim. It's hard to pinpoint, but there is another dark magic or something in the zone somewhere around. It seems to be emanating. It comes in like small waves, but ultimately you're not exactly sure what would be causing it or where it's coming from. But there's something here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you just go up this way and let's go around this corner, I think the bank should be right there.
Do you
Or
want
at
to?
least a money changer.
Do you want to go to the bank first, or do you want to go to Ophelia first?
Well, we're gonna need a little bit of money because we should get rooms and
All right.
where we have to go, we're gonna need some horses.
Okay. All
And
right.
I myself am living off the generosity of all you guys.
We've got you. Don't worry, Trin.
Good.
What generosity?
Oh, the money. I don't have any. I'm very poor.
Really?
Wait.
Well, that's just
What
normally
about
how
his
I
share? What about your share?
Didn't you just get paid?
live. Not much. I'm so very poor. But thus is a bard's life, you know.
Perhaps it's a mentality.
Maybe.
Go on.
All right, fine. I
What?
feel him kind of like kick his legs out and use my head to like tilt back. Fine. And I start walking towards where he points me. How long did you live here, Trin?
Well, I've only been through here a couple times. I didn't really
Oh.
live here like long term.
Oh, okay. And then how did you meet this Madame Ophelia? Did you meet her here or somewhere else?
Well, I met her somewhere else. Where was that? I honestly don't remember what town we were in. Just because we weren't in the town, we're outside of the town. That's kind of how her caravan travels.
Oh.
You know, I was.
Is it like? Is it like what is the word? What is that? Circus?
No, it's not like a circus. It is not a circus. Everyone always calls it a circus. It's not a circus.
Well, I don't know how to describe it. So.
It's a caravan
For what?
for travelers, for nomads, for people of the road.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Remember, I was always talking about the rules of the road.
Honestly, I thought you were just completely full of shit.
No, it's a thing. I don't just make this stuff up.
Oh, really? It's a thing?
It is a thing.
Huh.
Like society and culture and rules
Well, I know what one of those
and
is.
expectations. Yeah, but I met her a long time ago traveling with my mentor, the Venerable Von Bell. Very talented man. Very talented.
Well then.
He needed to talk to her about, I guess they were friends, and so she knows a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. About a lot of that kind of stuff.
Ah, all
Is
right.
that motion over towards Katarina?
All right. Well, let's continue on to the bank.
To the bank! Money changer bank.
Are you looking for a money changer or a bank or like a loan? Like, what are you looking? Where are you taking
I think it'd
Audrey?
be money changer first.
A money changer.
Because these all things all do similar things, but very different ways.
So, okay, if we go to the bank, can I just get the rubies and stuff turned exchanged there, or would I have to go to a money exchange first and then?
Or do you have to
Goes-
sell them totally separate?
No, if you go straight to a bank, you should be able to get them done. Like,
To the bank!
it's just we're talking. It's different levels of institution. Not every town has a bank. Every town probably has a loan or a money lender
Oh,
or some
a
type of
shark.
banks. Yeah. So,
all right, then a bank.
bank. Go to an actual bank.
Yeah, actual bank should be fine. Get it changed and then
Okay.
probably put in an account so I can spend it here.
Okay. So in this quarter, one of the more reputable banks that are secure and can probably change in those kinds of amounts is going to be Valence Bank.
Villains.
Villains bank?
Billets.
Billets.
Valence.
Billets!
Yes, Valence.
Oh, I thought you said something very different. The Villains bank!
We get all the best business from the best bad guys.
Yep, exactly.
Right here on the main road.
Quick point of clarification. I believe this to be true, but I just want to make sure I heard it, and I'm not just assuming. Coenwald is the capital of Bravadas, right?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. So yeah, here
Yes.
we were referencing old notes.
This must be the place.
Yes. The Imperial Palace, which is massive, and then plus the Church of Parathor and the Inquisition all reside within Coenwald's walls.
Yeah!
Mhm.
You want to see? Want to see the note?
I do.
Mhm.
It's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal.
Well, now I was.
All right. Starts right here, about halfway down, and then it's like just 4 lines.
I see where we pointed.
It's a big deal.
Mhm.
Back when she consulted the evil orb of evilness.
Not evil.
It's not evil.
It's
I don't
literally
know.
called a malfactory. Break that word down.
A factory of...
Of evil.
Mhm.
Of bad.
It's all-
A bad factory.
No, come on. It's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
I changed the name, Katarina. It's a digital library.
Yeah.
Digital
Helpful orb
library?
of goodness.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe. Well, I don't
No.
think that's it.
No.
But you think it could be used to get that?
I
We'll
have
find
no idea.
that.
Very
Out
subtle.
of context here. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have no idea what we're talking about. I feel like I should just say it out
Okay,
loud at this
You're
point.
making a mockery of these proceedings.
No,
You can't say it out loud because you know I just remembered. We don't know any of that. That's all her.
Oh,
I
you're
wrote
right.
that note down, but she's the only one who knows that.
You're right. You're right. Right. Right.
Put the big brain on Terra.
I needed an external hard drive for that one.
Let me show you your notes that I wrote down. Just like in high school when I was
He's
bullied
the
all the time.
backup. Don't worry.
So, the Bank has these really large and really tall windows, but ultimately, it's as opposed to being a half timber building, it's definitely made entirely of stone, which gives a little bit more structural integrity than everybody else. But there's quite a few people out front going inside and out, and you kind of go through the front doors. And inside is this really wide open floor plan with basically a set of L-shaped stairs on both sides that go up to a secondary mezzanine floor like above. But ultimately, it's just rows of desks of individuals, of mostly humans, but just kind of working with people and going over their paperwork and doing their banking with them. There's kind of a sort of host up front who sees you all come in and for a moment looks a little worried that you're all walking in at the same time. He kind of stutters. He's like, what brings you into Villains today?
I need to convert this into coin and then open the bank because I don't think I should be carrying it around in this big city. I think that's how it works.
Do you have an account with us already, or
No.
so we're opening just one for you, or for all of you, or is this? Do you have? You must all be with the Adventurers Guild, right? So you're looking to add to your personal accounts.
Well, not.
To the
we are
guild
an
account?
adventuring party, but we're not members of any specific guild.
No,
No,
So
we
something
don't have
I've
members of the
considered.
guild, no.
no. How strange. Either way.
You can make more money not having to pay them union dues. You know what
God.
I'm saying?
What's a union do?
Lots of stuff. It depends on the union.
Extortion.
Either way, I for sure would like to open an account.
All right. Well, let me see who's available to tend to your needs then. And he kind of turns away and kind of walks back towards the back, all the way to the back.
I'm gonna lean over to Trin. Trin, I might need your help making sure I don't get swindled.
I got you, buddy.
Awesome.
But they're an establishment. I don't think they're going to swindle you.
Is this something we all should be doing? I'm not really. I understand what banking is, but I don't know.
I'm
Is
doing
it
it just-
important in Bravardis?
It's just I have a lot of the rubies and gems.
Right. Yes.
I was trying to get them changed, and I'm gonna put them in the account because I don't want to carry
Quite
them
a
around.
few too, but is it important that we bank them?
No, I'm doing it so I don't carry a big bag around, and I'm probably going to buy a new weapon here at some point, so it's easier if I just put it here.
You're concerned about what you're carrying. Do you remember that brace with all the throwing axes?
Yeah, it was completely functional.
And
All right.
fashionable.
Thank you. It glistened. He taught me that one.
Well, far be it from me to argue about wearing something that glistens. As
Well-
I turn in my gold and silver plate mail.
Fucking sun rays are arcing off your armor.
Yeah, Ophelia has more of a glimmer than a glisten.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was probably all that time you spend not polishing your super magic armor because it's so fancy. You know, some of us have to work at it a little bit.
Actually, one of the things that you realize when you come in is there's a few wards and definitely some magic hoopaloo going on here for sure.
Oh my god.
You suspect some sort of like arcane eye or watcher is kind of just looking over the lobby,
They got security.
and then more than likely arcane locks on like the windows and stuff like that. Very, very basic stuff.
So when we rob this place, I definitely need to be here. As well.
Yes,
We're not
exactly.
robbing the place.
Well, someone needs to.
Someone
I
standing
hate-
by. She's like,
I hate
what
to
now?
be the quintessential paladin
What
of the
was that?
party, but we're not committing
What was
evil,
that?
okay?
It's not evil to rob a bank. It's reappropriation.
Listen, it worked for Robin Hood.
Nah,
He was a good guy.
I don't see any archers in the
Everyone
group.
likes Robin Hood.
Everybody loves him.
I don't like Robin Hood.
I thought he was talking about the internet.
Technically, it worked for
Trading
them
out.
too. Thanks.
There is now a trading guild called Robin Hood. They're investing in this new currency called ethereal.
It's an imaginary currency.
Welcome to Robin and Hood.
It's,
Seems derived, but I'll go with it.
Yeah.
it's like fantasy NFTs. It's ethereal currency.
Yeah, ethereal currency.
Arcane marks.
Arcane marks.
Only one person can make it, and it cannot be created. It cannot be recreated.
It's got a signature on there to prevent it.
Arcane marks.
that's
Okay,
fine.
after a few minutes, he comes back to you. Well, you can head towards the back, and someone will get right with you. Just find an empty desk.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Well,
I think
he can go and do the work. You all said that you weren't clients and didn't have a shared
well,
income.
He's my colleague. We share some finances. We're partners.
I'll leave
All
you two
right.
to it. I'm going to the street.
I'll fetch an additional chair.
Wherever
I
Locke
guess.
goes, I'm going.
Two.
Hell yeah.
You might have to stand. Either way.
Hashtag lock belongs.
Well, fine to just let those two walk around the streets by themselves, or should I chaperone?
You should probably chaperone.
You should probably chaperone.
Give him
Right.
Locke's proclivity to red eye syndrome.
Very nice. Oh, yes.
Zap, 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 zap.
I very awkwardly just follow them outside and don't engage them.
All right, I follow to where we were directed.
Okay.
I as well follow to where we were directed.
Yes, I take Trin with me.
I go with him. Yes, and.
Yes, and
Yeah, so you sit down. After a few minutes, what looks like an elf comes over to you and takes a seat.
Can you talk to an elf? Thanks.
He's like,
You didn't have
so
to
we're looking to open an account today, are
Yes.
What kind of
Open an
trouble
account
can I
and
get
convert
into?
currency.
we? And convert some currency.
Yes.
What currency are we converting? And he pulls out papers and starts writing stuff down.
Oh shit.
Pulls out what looks like a standard contract of some sort. It's got all these words on it. Fancy big words. Something about interest. There's percentages and payments and things about investment and how they're not protected by the kingdom. Anyways,
I love that you just find printed while they're talking to each other. That's amazing. Anyway, sign on the dotted line.
yeah,
What?
And it's got.
the solid line.
It's currency from oh crap! I don't know. It's rubies and gems.
Okay, so yes, we should be able to take care of that. Are you aware of what the current exchange rates are and what we're looking? Where we're looking for gold in?
Start nudging the goblin.
Think what kind of trouble
Am
can
I
get
aware
into.
of what the current
Yes.
exchange rates are, roughly? Kind of
Oh.
a little bit. I know a little bit about money,
All right,
especially
Only
other
what we
people's
need.
money.
I'm one spell away.
it's a little
from
worrying,
being
but
dead,
okay.
Yeah.
I was told that you're adventurous,
I
so
knew you were
Yes.
joining him.
I was paid up.
it doesn't matter where it came from, as long as it
Stuck
didn't come
between
from
two
someone that I know
troublemakers.
personally.
No, I was
Either
paid
way.
up by an elven family for me returning a relic.
All right,
So I just kind of.
boom, puts it down. He kind of opens up the bags, looks at it. Can we get someone to come count this and weigh it and such? And a couple individuals come over, they take it and go through a rather large and heavily reinforced set of double doors off to the side and the rear of the building. They're going to have to figure out the value and such. Either way, we're looking to convert it to Bravashan coinage, or what are we looking for?
That should be fine. I probably plan to spend it while I'm in Coenwald.
All right, and would you like this available at other banks in other cities? And should we put you...
Does that cost more? How does that work?
No, not necessarily. It's pretty straightforward. You have a card. It verifies that you have this amount, and when you take it to another bank, they write off in the account in which you took, and we subtract that sum from your primary account.
Then yes.
All right. Well, we can do that for you. And then he takes out like the paperwork and stuff, and you're gonna have to fill this out, put on your name and such, and in the likeness that you're killed off in some adventure, or maybe a secondary you'd like to donate to.
The immortal.
Yeah, I go through and just kind of go through and sign everything.
Well, no, you put the wrong name there.
I put Godric.
No, the beneficiary. You gotta put my name there.
Oh.
Well, you should.
You're a con man.
I never
Brilliant.
die.
It's like
Yeah, sure.
it's
I
like
can back
senior
off.
abuse.
I don't.
but-
Oh
Matter
my
of
God,
fact,
sure.
he's proven he's immortal.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
No,
come back twice.
No, my name.
Yeah.
Gark Skid. Don't laugh. Just write it.
I write
Stop
it.
laughing.
Will you
It's
write?
not funny.
I dark skin.
Gark.
Dark skin.
Gark.
Dark skin.
Gark.
That's even
Gark.
worse.
That's what I heard. And I was laughing.
Gark.
Oh, this needs a clip.
Gark.
Anyways.
Gark.
Gark.
Say it without an accent so I can hear you.
Gark Skid.
Gark.
He's in
Skid.
character, Godric. Don't judge.
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself sometimes?
Fair, but if I need it. Gark. Gark.
Skid.
Skid.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a goblin name.
Sorry, I heard something completely different, and
Hey,
it
Gark,
really messed
hey,
me
Win.
Oh my god, dude.
up. I thought it
This this is why we play, though.
was
Party on, Gark.
Gark.
Party on, Ma.
Oh
Trans
my
world.
gosh.
Trans world, party on!
All right.
All right. So you sign all the paperwork and everything to get you good. And he gives all the paperbooks, like the accounts, the slip or whatever, and he gives it to Trin. It's like, you seem like you're going to be doing most of the money managing in this partnership.
Yeah.
Explain to him how it works when he needs it to work, please.
Very well, I shall do so.
Do understand that overspending or forging these comes with great cost and penalty, and you could be hunted down by bounty hunters who will relentlessly chase you to the ends of Gwinnett and the world.
You're making Godric excited.
Either way.
Godric was resisting the urge to smile.
Hmm?
Yes, we
Sounds good.
understand. I will ensure he understands.
If I'd known Andy's
I
world
know.
had banks at the beginning, I would have been a bank robber for so.
Banks, you guys know that.
I do now.
You guys banked with a bank in the pre-campaign.
Yeah.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Damn it.
Still time lock.
Yeah, there's still time lock.
You're right. We can always career
Never
change.
give up on your dreams. Alright?
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah, don't let your dreams be dreams. Maybe there's trains. You
Don't
can be
let your
train
dreams
robber.
be dreams. Give up on them right away.
All right. And then
Did I not transfer over that one specific note?
and
How much did I pay you in gems?
A lot.
7,000.
What was the estimated amount? 7,000,
7,000,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, 7,000 golden gems, right?
Estimated.
Okay.
Estimated? Yeah.
It's too late to spit on.
Yeah.
Brighten them up. Damn.
Where's my inventory? There's my inventory.
It's your pockets, Godric. And your back. And your chest. And your boot.
Godric.
Mm.
Not Godric. Sorry, you're not even there.
Yep.
Locke.
Mm.
I know you don't really have facial expressions, but I can't help but think you might be glaring at me.
How much of this would you like in money today?
Let's just call it even.
The gentleman comes out
500?
and from the back of the vault and hands him a slip.
Yeah, 500 gold.
500 gold?
That should be enough for
We can. Oh, it looks like in conversion, we got you an additional 700 gold for the gem. So 7,700 will be credited and built to your account. You could take 500 of that with you today.
$7,200 little card thingy.
That's
Yes.
quick math.
7,200 gold.
Yes. Good.
Yes.
So he basically doubles up on the paperwork, balances them, and then they give you gold pieces. 500. Well, 500 in gold, silver.
Oh, okay.
Gold and silver converted. So,
Cool.
There, I
all
think
right.
we've concluded our business.
Yes.
Well, as long as you're within the Empire, this should be good. You might even find this bank slip, this banknote accepted at money changers in smaller towns and such, who will just basically push on the information to us. But do know they're not required to accept your bank slip, so...
Do most places in
Understand
Coenwald accept it?
Oh, within Coenwald, yes. Our money's as good as the gold that we give you.
Random question.
Mhm.
If you were to recommend an adventurer to go get the weapon, who would you recommend? New to the city.
He's a bank teller, not a concierge.
Yeah,
He can hear
I'm not
rumors.
really sure.
That's fine. I just thought to ask. No worries.
Maybe you should check out the Adventurers Guild and ask one of them.
Oh,
If
I
you're
don't know,
looking
some-
for something to purchase, something significant, then the Adventurers Guild and their auction house would be
they
the
have
way
an
to
auction
go.
house.
Yeah, because they kill stuff and people all the time, so they know quality weapon.
They probably have some good stuff.
Yeah,
Alright.
probably.
All right.
Maybe you could win something in a bet, like an arm wrestling competition,
No. Well, thank you.
or
So he
just
stands up, kind of adjusts his collar and his shirt, and just gives you a nod. Well, have a good day.
pip pip Cheerios.
All right.
Cheerios.
And you, either way, have a wonderful day, the both of you.
Well, I will, but not because you said so. But
Garskit, and you can hear the elf just repeating it to himself. Garskit.
fucking assholes.
As you walk away.
Godric, I think it goes without saying that you do not repeat that name.
What is wrong with it?
And what were the three of you
It
doing
is
out
your
on the
name,
street?
right?
Were you just hanging out in front of
Twilight
the bank,
Time.
or
Yeah, just got people watching a little
just
bit.
people watching?
Yeah, pretty much. I did ask Locke why he was
Yeah.
scowling at me.
Scowling, just thinking. That's all.
Do you find that you're more inspired if you think while staring at me?
No, not more inspired. Sometimes my thoughts wander in your direction, though.
I think about you too sometimes.
I think so.
Were you thinking about anything specific or something that maybe multiple minds could help with?
No, really. Just thinking.
Right?
Sorry. I'll try not to stare.
Oh, it's absolutely fine if you do. It's just, like I said, I can't read your face, so... And I know that we have had a couple of arguments lately. I am still here, though. Must mean I have some trust in you, right?
Yes. The gesture isn't lost on me.
Good. Katerina,
Yes.
explain something to me.
All right.
How... Why would anyone put faith in human banking? They're so short-lived.
Sure, but their records are not.
It's yet to be seen. Maybe when they've been around for a little bit longer, you could make that claim.
I don't have much experience with it, but it seems to work.
I've heard that the human banks employ a lot of dwarves for the record keeping.
Interesting. Now, dwarves keep immaculate records. It's as if they wrote it in stone.
That was a good one, Altheon.
Thank you.
After he makes that joke, the door is open. You can see Godric and Trin come out.
Quick question, Godric. Isn't Bravardus going to tax your money? Most customs laws would dictate that if you brought a large sum in and then banked it, that they would claim some of it as their own, especially human lands.
I got more than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Oh,
It actually worked out really well.
I got 700 gold more than what I thought that was going in for. So if there's more on top of that,
No, there wouldn't be more. They'd take it. Taxing is when they take
yeah.
from you.
I got more than what I thought I was getting. If there's more than that, oh well.
You mean if there's less than that?
I think it's
What?
a worry only when we run out of money.
Right. Well, don't run out of money then.
I don't plan on it.
Do you have any plans? Also, there was mention of an adventurers guild. Is that something we should look into?
I mean, I would like to stop by. I think I want to buy a weapon from them.
Oh, from auction.
You can, yeah. I would,
Yes.
Even if we have stuff we don't need, we can throw up for auction there too.
Interesting.
I don't think I have anything.
Do we have to be members of a guild? Do we have to join specific guilds, or do we just sort of register with them?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well, hopefully nobody's taken the name Thunder Dangerous.
I have my doubts.
Why do you say that? It's a fantastic name. Does sound better in Elven, though.
Yeah. Well, to you, doesn't everything sound better in Elven?
No, some things sound better in Draconic. But nothing ever sounds better in Orc.
I don't know. Their names for some of their war machines and
They're simple. But, we could always ask. But as far as plans, we still need to get a room, and if we're gonna see Miss O, then we're probably gonna need a couple horses.
Horses?
Horses, yeah.
Is she outside the city?
Well, yeah, I know how to find her, but it's a long way, and I'm not just being dramatic about my little goblin legs. It's actually kind of a long way. I don't know if you noticed, Coenwald's kind of a big place.
Oh, well, how many days ride?
We should be able to find it by this evening. If we hurry and get the room and don't overburden our stuff with the luggage.
Well, do you have a recommendation for where we should stay?
Does that look around?
Well, why don't we just stay with Madame Ophelia? You mentioned it was a caravan, correct?
Yeah, it's a caravan.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind us putting up a fire, sleeping outside.
I suppose not. Oh,
These are
Oh.
your people, right?
yeah, they are. But
Well,
they are quite a bunch of characters. I was not sure if you're ready for it.
Characters.
Yeah,
Like a rambunctious lot.
like big personalities.
Oh, well then we'll fit right in.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You're
Okay.
afraid that we'll be friends
Okay,
with your
let's
friends?
just get horses before I change my mind.
Right.
Before I change my mind. Like, quickly.
I promise that I will be polite.
Okay. Okay, just remember that. Just give that right on the top of your little elven head. Well, your big elven head. Not as big as that.
Apparently my head is not as big as yours.
It's not.
It's just an observation. But figuratively, way bigger. But
What
no,
does that mean?
literal, like ego, like you have a very large sense of self. Kind of like those big personalities I was talking about.
Well, when your actions are literally ordained by the divine.
That's
it's
what I'm talking
hard.
about.
Well,
That's it right there.
I simply mean that if you were chosen by a god to
Let me-
enact your... You were chosen by a god.
Yeah, I don't die.
Well, you did die.
Well, I
Twice.
just bounce right back. Rubber glue and all that stuff. Bounce right back.
Oh, yes.
It's like, the Raven Queen is rubber, and life is glue, and I bounce off her and stick to life. I don't. There's something there. It needs some work.
All right, well, then, horses?
Yes.
I'm sick of renting them, by the way.
Ooh.
I meant to take one of the red stags when we left Mindrathis, but
Well, if we read,
I get so excited to leave, I forget things all the time.
we have a habit of leaving stuff behind. So if we
We can own
rent
3
them
horses.
only for like 4 or 5 days or something, then we're not buying the whole horse just to leave it somewhere to fend for itself. Just a thought.
I can always cast a spell to summon a horse. Or a stag, for that matter.
I would.
I wonder if it's really a spell or if he's just going to start doing stag calls in the street.
No, it's a spell. I've heard of it. It's rare among arcane casters.
What?
Well, do you know of some stables nearby then?
Well, you just follow the smell of the stables. Oh, that's Godric. Oh, this way. So I follow my keen sense of smell of the stable.
I debate giving him assistance in the forward motion.
Gotcha. Assistance in the forward motion.
Apply boot to rear.
That's going to be a stretch.
Yeah. Finding some stables in the inn is actually not that hard. So are we buying or renting the horses? What do we want to do here?
Well, I was thinking lease. Maybe for 3 years, 200,000 miles, something like that.
That's a lot of miles, dude.
A lot of
Oh,
miles
3,000
on a
miles a
horse.
month. However leases work, I've never leased. I always buy because I'm a baller like that.
I buy my horses cash.
Cash! We don't care if you're buying cash. We're all about in-house financing now.
I say we just rent. Rent him for a week and call it good.
I think that's a good option.
I think it is also a good option.
Renting for a weekend would probably be better, depending how long you plan to be here.
We have
So
more
real-
options in terms of teleporting around, and they're much harder to bring with us.
Work in the chats.
Well, actually, horses, as long as you could make the circle outside, horse would go right with you. Technically.
I
He
think
would just have to make the circle like large enough.
Big circle. Horse.
There might be a creature limit, but we should have room for horses. If we really wanted to.
Let's cast it twice, send the horses first.
There'd be some confused horses, but yes. They'd be sitting
Especially
there.
when they pass through the abyss.
They'd be sitting there for an hour, like just waiting for us on the other end.
We get there and they've been slaughtered by a demon.
Ah, damn
we
it!
get there, the town is burning, horses are dead. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we
Well,
didn't
that's
do
how
it.
we avoid the demon problem. We just send it through horses first.
Hello, Sasha.
Oh, I thought that was sound effects. That was like
I
high-tech sound.
I will summon a steed. I've been wondering if this would work anyway, so don't worry about renting one for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically, we go by 3 if you want to ride on someone else's.
Oh, that's so demeaning.
Oh, that'd
Out
be
front, it's about 10 silver pieces a day for a horse.
Just give
Per
him some
horse.
gold.
That's right. What's the 1 gold a day? So it'd be what's 1 gold? Yeah,
How long will we need them for?
1 gold. Sorry, 1 gold for 10 days. Sorry.
Let's just say like 10 days.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 gold. 4 gold for 10 days.
That includes all the fees, saddling, and everything.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'll cough up 4 gold.
Service fees, resort fees.
Yeah.
Double check that
Tax,
spell.
value-added taxes.
It lasts for 6 seconds, and anyone who enters the circle while it's active just goes.
I figured it. That's
So
why
you-
I figured it to go.
You have a 10-foot circle where everyone can
Yeah.
just fucking. And then when you're on the other side, you all slam into each other.
I just see a bunch. I see just like a wall of people running out, just beating each other up because there's no room.
Not to be abused.
Not to
Hashtag.
be abused. All right, 4 gold. I will take.
Okay.
Oh, how generous. Such a gentleman.
Oh.
I shall name my horse Phoebe. For no real apparent reason.
Unrequited love.
Fair enough.
No! That's an aura.
I wouldn't say that's unrequited just yet.
Just yet. It hasn't had a chance.
It's in
It's
progress.
but a little seedling and it needs light and nurturing.
That's not
The horses are in fair condition. Moreover, you can tell that they've been groomed and they're taken care of. They're well fed. They're not gonna fall apart, and they definitely look like they're made to travel on the roads. So you're gonna be good to go. They've been recently shoed as well, so you shouldn't have any issues with the horses going down. Most of them seem well mannered. Nothing crazy.
Well,
Mhm.
well, onward, Trin. We're following you.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Well, this way then. Oh, Leon, hurry up with that stag! You can't leave without all.
Yes, we can.
And what about horses for her? We're not staying in a hotel.
Throw 'em over the lake.
We get another horse for Burr. And the fox.
For the fox rides with Burrow. We're not buying a horse for the fox.
You sure you need to do a horse for him? I just assumed he would wild shape.
Oh,
You
Never
can do
mind.
that?
yeah,
He did it when you guys were out with
Yeah.
the goblins.
yeah. Never mind.
Oh. Well, fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're just waiting on you to summon a manimal.
Right, so I have to do it while you're all watching.
Yes.
No.
And so they're all there with the horses. Everything is packed. You guys are carrying all of your gear with you, by the way, right?
Yeah.
You didn't leave anything at Thane's Curios.
No.
So all of your packs, your tents, everything that you brought with you,
Yes.
Yeah.
Full traveling gear.
full traveling gear. Yeah. Okay. The horses are capable of dealing with all that. It's fine.
So
Katarina's horse gives her a little bit of trouble with the amount of stuff that gets thrown on it, but it's fine. Because Godric alone is too heavy, so you have to take some of his stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah. The horse is
All right.
dead.
Well, then it's a casting time of 10 minutes, and I just go through what feels like a very standard Ulthion prayer to the Seldarine. I light an incense and a censer as well, and kind of go through the circular motion while an elven. What?
He's having a day, dude.
Um.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, at
Can
the
I
end of
please have a stag praying? I'm sorry.
at the end of the 10 minutes, just like me, I summon a spirit that is unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal. That's what it says right here.
Is it a dog?
It appears in an unoccupied space within range. The steed takes on a form that I choose, and it specifically lists elk as an option. So guess what? Celestial elk. Boom. Right there.
Is this magic okay in Bravadis? Or do we immediately get swarmed upon?
No, it's fine.
So basically the spirit coalesces from the air and light around us into the form of this like golden stag that then begins to take on a much more natural elk-like form. And then it just turns and looks at me. I nod at it. It nods at me.
No, it
We've been
has
playing
flair.
Warcraft, just new steed.
It
Nope,
has
new
flair.
one.
I respect it.
Yes, it worked. Glorious.
What's its name?
Certainly tall enough.
Sure, at some point it'll tell me what its name is, but I'll have to spend some time bonding.
You gotta spend time bonding before you ride it. Feels
Yes.
kind of weird to just ride it right off the bat, you know?
I mean, that's what we're doing with our horses.
I know, but it feels different if it's all weird and light up like.
Well, it was a gift from the Seldarine to me. Sort of like asking your parents for a ride somewhere. I don't know how to explain that, but
We don't have.
either way, he's here, so
Well, let this go, Trin. Lead the way.
All right. Forward.
As so I start riding through the streets out of the city.
Yeah, I mean, through the proper result, like every imagined detail has to be correct. So the 10 minutes of it bringing this creature, which in every way, shape, or form is an exact replica down to every bit of the same great red elk that you rode on when you were in Eredor. It's actually fairly impressive, the magic overall. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference whatsoever. It does seem to react much more intelligently than the regular elk did, though.
You'll notice-
It almost
there's-
has an awareness about it as it's moving and can actually navigate the streets and people, and without him even directing it, will like stop as people are entering the roads and just kind of understands what needs to be done.
Yeah, no bit, bridle, or anything like
No.
that.
So, finding the main road out through the western gate, you can kind of turn back and see the entire grand splendor of these massive towers that denote like the Great Palace itself, the Imperial Palace. You can see the cranes and the massive these massive steam operated cranes that work in the ports as you're leaving, but the towering breadth and height and build of the city's like innermost wall is unlike anything that you've actually seen anywhere before, other than in Marseille itself. The bastions are massive. There's cannons and rows of soldiers patrolling them. The walls have got to be at least 50 feet in height in this interior wall, built to withstand the furnace blasts of dragons' breath weapons and giant siege engines. You want to say that the city is based on that? Unassailable by any force that wouldn't. There's no chance that any conquering force that wasn't supernatural could take the city. So, you hit the road on the outside, and the vast open farmlands that have just encroached on the city's walls just stretch out for every inch and every mile along these well-maintained paths and roads. Stone the whole way. Until finally, after you get out into past these more small villages and towns that have surrounded it, you get to a far more rural territory. And then there's the wilderness of the Reichland itself, and the Reichwald forest just presses into the area and just becomes thick, massive conifers just in rows as far as you can see through the underbrush into it. Trin, for the majority of that, you travel under those conditions as the sun just goes through the day. You stop a couple of times to kind of find water or check on some interesting little objects on the side of the road, things that people have carved in the trees, notes. A few passerbys kind of stop to ask you, if you're adventurers and you'd be capable of dealing with them or helping with them. But honestly, most of it is very minor stuff, and you just direct them to the town to inquire as to the town guard or the Adventurers Guild. As dusk nears, though, Trin kind of just stops ahead of you on the road, and he looks like he's lost, but then turns to this small, kind of semi-covered path where the road diverges, and it kind of goes down into this, down this hill and over a creek, and then you come out on the other side to this wide, open space that runs along the side of a river. Let's see.
Man, down by the river.
Yeah, exactly.
Caravan. It's gonna be so funny.
So
family's a bunch of gypsies.
What?
They're
Nomads.
They're caravanists.
Yeah, gypsies.
They're in a caravan. You don't gotta be so judgmental.
Are they ornate? Pulled by horses? Lots of colors?
Well, we can have nice things.
Boreas.
What?
He told me his name. It's Boreas of the North Wind.
Boreas.
Yes.
Hello, Boreas. Nice to meet you. My name's Trin Twilight.
He says hello. He speaks Elven. Well, understands Elven.
Oh,
Trin's Elven.
hi, Boreas. My name's Trin Twilight. I'm Otheon's best friend ever.
Boreas says if that's true, then you're now best friends.
We're best friends. You can never have too many best friends.
It's probably true.
It is true.
So this, after coming through the underbrush, you see the sprawling caravan of at least 100 people or so is kind of spread out along the riverbanks. You can see sizable fires, kitchens, and large tables, eating areas, stages for performances have all been built. Large tents, rotundas, everywhere spread throughout the camp. All surrounded by wagons and arranged in such a way that more or less every person in the caravan is going to be capable of looking out for one another. Riding down to the camp actually doesn't draw any undue attention. People see you, and you can see that while most of the people that you come across seem to be Tabaxi, there's some Dragonborn intermixed in there, and some halflings and some goblins for sure. A few humans there and there, but it's mostly Tabaxi.
Cat people. The cat people caravan.
Entering the camp, though, is akin to kind of entering an ongoing celebration. It's very lively, and everybody seems to be in good spirits.
Yeah. Hi.
Jordan's kind of just waving at all the peoples. The sounds of stringed instruments and multiple bands and different music being played throughout the camp kind of just goes across the air. The smells of great cooking and awesome meals of all sorts, soups, and then plus fresh meat kind of just permeate everything. Incense and more exotic spicing smells kind of wafting over the warm summer air of the Empire. Nobody gives you a second thought other than waving and saying hi, and you get a lot of people who acknowledge you and then just wave. Children, men, women, everybody. Just very happy to welcome you into the camp. You can sense no ill will or malfeasance or evil present within the space at all. Now, to one side, like the draft animals and mounts are all sleeping, more than likely going to end up sleeping on the feet because they're all bound to picket lines by their well-maintained halters. On the other side, in the entertainment area that you saw from the road, you can see that there's displays of magic and songs. Traditional dances are being shown to what look like passerbys and also city folk. Seems like they seem to be entertaining people as well. You can recognize the garbs and dress of the Bravashans or locals from the surrounding small towns and villages have come here to kind of witness the culture and experience what they have to offer. Off by these fire pits, you can see that bottles of wine and alcohol are being passed around by the teamsters, guards, the crews, and the people who live here just enjoying the freedom that they all kind of get on the trail. Children playing games and clap and dance like lightheartedly. No worry whatsoever within the camp's boundaries.
Trin, is there any custom we should acknowledge? Should we have brought a gift or?
Well,
Okay.
gifts are always nice, but they're. Well, I guess we're pretty open and accepting people. It's not a requirement for common decency. You just be friendly and jovial and do your best not to offend anybody.
Right, I can do that. I'm the
It's
best
pretty
at that.
simple, but some people are more easily offended than others. Godric?
No, I was just clearing my throat.
No, did you hear what I said?
No,
Some people are more easily offended than others.
that's their problem.
So I need you to exercise a little bit of patience. Pretend like they're all elves.
Look, perhaps we just learn a lesson that the last time somebody in the party took people to their home didn't turn out so well.
I was
Maybe
fine until
we-
Locke was an asshole.
Trin, is
Well,
it like
wasn't
this
his
in your
fault,
camp
mind you.
every day? Is everyone always dancing and happy?
We're fixing
They,
that.
they try to, at least when circumstances allow. Some days are just too dreary to be able to celebrate. Bad things do happen.
Did you hear
But that's
that?
why you make the most of the times in between.
That stringed instrument is very definitely elven. I just snap my finger and my stag just disappears right out from under me and I land on my feet. I'm going to go dance. I walk towards the sound of that instrument.
And just people are kind of like looking, and at this point, because you kind of stopped in the middle of camp, or middle-ish, a lot of the Tabaxi have kind of gathered around and just kind of observing you all. A few of them are impressed by the display of magic. A couple of what looked like jungle cat-like Tabaxi kind of come over. Could we take your mounts for you?
Yes.
You should put them on the picket lines with all the other working animals.
Yes,
that would
please.
be wonderful.
I promise they'll be well cared for.
Well, of course they will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hop down.
What?
I hop down too.
Sure. And they take the animals around and over to the kind of take them. You lose sight of them as they head towards the river where you saw that the picket fences were, and where all oxen and all the other pulling draft horses were kind of being kept in this large corral as well. So.
Oh, it feels like I can finally relax a little bit.
So what is it next?
Well, I guess next we find Miss O's tent. But just for the record, when we meet her, you have to refer to her as Madame Ophelia. She's very specific about that. She's proper in that way. She's very renowned and she leads this caravan, so she should be treated with the respect she deserves.
No.
I'm following Altheon over to where the music is.
Woohoo!
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate with these people. They are awesome.
Yeah, this is so cool.
I like it.
Okay.
Welcoming. It's nice.
Yeah.
First human place we've gone to where they're not like, we hate you.
We walk in there
It's 'cause
immediately
it's
like,
mostly
fuck
not
you
human.
guys. True.
It's true. It's mostly not. You've seen very few. You've maybe counted about 4 or 5 humans
Oh, wow.
in the whole camp so far.
That's awesome.
But you just go over to one of the nearby fires by a couple of the tents and just
Yeah. I
Kinda
heard a
interject
particularly
yourselves?
pretty instrument, and if there is a group dancing, I too will dance. If they are not dancing and just enjoying the music, I'll do that.
all right, gotcha. Yeah. What are you doing, Trin?
I'm going to see if I can't look around and identify Madame Ophelia's tent.
Okay, sure. You gonna ask where she is, or are you just gonna look and hope you see her camped right here?
Well, if there's passers-by, I'm gonna ask where Miss O's tent is.
Okay. Yeah. So you grab a rather kind of weather-worn and road-traveled dragonborn who kind of just points towards this slightly raised knoll towards the back of the camp.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Mhm.
Are you new to the caravan? I don't think I recognize you.
I don't recognize you.
Well, my name's Trin Twilight. What's your name?
Trin Twilight. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Oh, the goblin.
Yeah, I used to travel.
The goblin.
Yeah.
You haven't been here in quite some time.
Well, it's been a while. You see, I've been traveling and going around, seeing the world, and hopefully doing some good things, making a positive impact. How have things been with the caravan?
Well, I mean, you asked. My name is Kroll.
Kroll! Hi,
Yes.
Kroll! I'll hold my hand up.
He shakes it.
Hi, Kroll!
Yeah. One of the things you notice about all the people is that large amounts of like gold jewelry, chains, earrings, even on all the men, you have these large like gold earrings with like orbs or gems on them. Everybody is dressed in fairly earthy tones, except for some of the more brightly colored dresses for some of the stage performers who are doing their more traditional dances and kind of showing off for the people. The instruments are definitely elven wind instruments combined with viola as well. An interesting blend of mashing of different cultures, like all in kind of one space, all brought together by this idea of kind of just living on the road and going from place to place and absorbing all they can, and then moving on to the next. They welcome you into just joining them in drinks, and they hand you the wine bottle, and there would be no difference between doing it with old friends or people that you're close and familiar with versus not, and there seems to be no distinction around the fire between either of those. They welcome you in and laugh, and they don't even bother to ask like why you're in the camp at all, and don't seem suspicious of your reasons for being there either. An extremely observant person would realize, though, that a large amount of the male and female tabaxi that are kind of on the outsides are definitely armed. A variety of crossbows, rapiers, long swords, and brigandines and cloth armor spread throughout. So,
Makes sense.
more than capable of defending themselves. There's no misunderstanding of what they are capable of. So maybe that adds to why they're so welcoming and less worried about who you are or where you came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he points out where she's been, and you catch up for a few moments, and you actually realize that he is kind of comes and goes and joins and leaves on a regular basis. So there's probably a high chance that he just wasn't there while you were. But he's definitely familiar with all the customs and everybody who's there, and a vast majority of people who you expect to already be in camp are still traveling with him.
Alright. Well, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the evening. I gotta catch up with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, Crow.
As I
Bye, Trin.
I run over to the area where my friends are
Trying to engage in some dancing and drinks.
I've just been following you.
Trent, perfect. I have a question.
I have an answer.
Those individuals there,
Which ones? The ones.
the ones moving to the music right there. That's
Yes.
not dancing, right?
That's dancing.
So Katerina said it was dancing, but there's no specific movements. That's not choreographed or practiced. They're just moving in unison to the music.
Yeah. Well, why would you let not knowing all the moves get in the way of having a good time?
It's easy. Watch. I'll show you. Godric, come dance.
Ah,
and
oh,
I'm gonna
dear
grab
God.
your hand and pull you in. And
Apparently, I'm getting drug into dance now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You do see that there are actually up on stage. There's a couple of moon elves that are there, and you suspect that more than likely they're probably half elves. They might find it easier to live amongst these people than to have to deal with the drama that comes with being one or the other.
Well, I'm gonna hook my arm under like Katerina's and begin like kind of like swing dancing with her into the music.
Okay.
Well, it just seems so interpretive as you're dancing. I'm literally just yelling at you. You're just picking moves out of where? Just making them up?
It's fun.
just give it a try.
And you hear God say, "Yes, watch this!" And I grab Katerina, just throw her in the air, and then catch her. and then keep going.
You go up much higher than you were
that was
expecting.
really high.
You're like your dress like frills up. And you just go, and you're just like and you come back down.
It's like
We're having a good time.
laugh, smile, giggle,
Laugh,
giggle,
yeah,
giggle.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Sorry, you were.
And the impressive feat of how high he throws you, just some gasps and some people get visibly worried about how you're gonna come back down to the ground.
Yeah, Theon, you just have to let yourself go and have fun without feeling the stress of worrying about propriety or being judged. It's not about that. It's about expression and having a good time.
Well, I understand the having a good time part, but there are other ways of expression. You do that in your art form, in painting.
Yeah, there are
Crafting,
some
sculpture,
that are skilled. Look
poetry.
at the moon elves.
Well, in Eridor, we dance to have a good time, but well, it's a game. It's a competition.
Not
See,
everything has to be a
I
competition.
well, it's a fun competition, not to see
As
who's better.
Godric like spins me, I'm like, you're overthinking it.
Yeah, there's
perhaps.
there's no rules, Lawmaster.
You just have to let go.
So you hear a
Alright, I'll
voice
try.
from right behind you, and you turn and you look, and there's this slick-backed, haired, like top ponytail, pulled, well-dressed, and it seems mannered hobgoblin who just kind of looks at you and just, listen, they all get it. Just all friends and fun here. Let go of the outside world and the rigors of elven society for just a small amount of time and see how it feels. No expectations, no gods watching you. Just be
Respectfully,
with
I
your
decline.
friends. To each their own. You're missing out on quite an experience.
I stand very rigidly, but you do notice I am tapping my foot.
I'm
he
jumping,
gets
trying
it.
to spin Godric
Yeah.
this time.
I'm trying to like lean in and go lower to like help out. It's just not working.
Yeah. It's not working.
Oh, Theon, this is where I learned to make friends instead of enemies. And how intent is really important.
All right, well,
People tend to like other people when they know that you like them back.
I don't care who likes me.
Well, that's a shame.
Why is that a shame?
Well, I'm just
I
saying.
care more about who I like than who likes me.
Yeah, but if someone likes you, it's easier to like them because they already have something positive, which is they like you. And when you turn an enemy into a friend, you've beaten them. And it's much easier to get through life when you have friends.
This is emotional. The people having a good time.
Oh, this is wonderful. I'm not disagreeing with any of it. It's just very new.
It's okay. In your own time, then.
At
All
this
right,
point,
well, then
and
teach me the
Katarina have
moves to
switched
the
partners.
stats.
Now I'm throwing up a tabaxi in the air.
So I start trying to teach Ulthion the moves that aren't actually moves.
Okay.
Like they're not real. They're just
Okay.
moves.
There is no rules. You must flow like water.
Yeah, I'm just like jumping back and forth like this and doing the cabbage patch.
Well, again,
You know,
Ulthion
catching a falling star and putting it
Ulthion
in my
doesn't
pocket.
care who likes him or not. So yeah, in my full
Yeah.
plate and everything, just doing the move, doing the thing,
Yeah, you get
exactly like this, right?
Sure.
All right, and then can I spin?
How does it feel?
It feels active,
Yeah, spin.
like a workout.
Spin.
I spin.
How does that feel? Spin it in as I spin him.
Yeah, I'll just get into it. I'll start getting in people's faces and be like, ha ha, and doing like I get it, but I don't get it. It's still very much like you notice somebody spins, I spin faster.
I'm gonna try, and if I can get to him, I'm gonna try to get behind Ulthion and throw him as well.
Do you feel some very large Goliath hands grab you by the waist?
Your
and
turn.
then up you go. Not as high as Katarina, but whoop, but you hit that moment of weightlessness for just a second, and your armor is already pretty light as it is because it's mithril, but it's even lighter now.
Yeah.
You basically feel naked
Yeah.
as
Brings
you
back the
fall back
memories of
down.
flying on the griffins.
And yeah, exactly. And he catches you.
Thank you, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I turn and leave. Throw a glance at Godric on the way out.
All right.
Check everything, make sure it's all.
He's like, I'm not supposed to
Yeah.
go up.
I give them a little while to enjoy the fun of it all.
I mean,
But also,
indulgent.
like, let their guard down and immerse themselves in the culture.
Mm.
So like half hour kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then after I start noticing their moves are getting a little slower, and maybe they're getting a little worn out. I come up and
Okay, well, I think it's time that we go see Madame Ophelia.
All right.
Right now, I just got into a wonderful debate with that tabaxi over there.
Oh, well, you can continue your debate, but Locke, yeah, you need to come
Locke, you all lost sight of, is just standing like a statue underneath the canopy of a wagon. Is just like dark.
Eventually, eventually, you need to stop observing the world and be a part of it.
That's a great line.
It's beautiful, Trin. And someday maybe we might even do that.
Well, the first step in that is getting your noggin fixed. Well, at least part of it.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Are you ready, everyone? Godric?
Yes.
Now, Godric, I need you to give it to me. The ring, Godric.
What ring?
Your mind shieldy stuff.
Why?
Because we're going to fix your mind. So bringing that with you will be contradictory to getting you fixed.
Oh, okay. I reach in and I pull it out of my pants. I stopped wearing it like 2 weeks ago.
I'll take it. Put it in my bag.
I had to make a choice.
I was going to put it in the bag
I
holding.
made a choice.
Oh,
Ring
yeah.
of poison resistance.
It's your responsibility.
We were coming up. I thought we were gonna do a ribbon. I'm like, Godric's definitely going now. I fucking need that mine. She doesn't give it.
Forgot about that, yeah.
Alright. So I slowly round up the group and I take them over to towards where the tent is.
That tabaxi posited that laws are not necessary amongst a polite society of family and community.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Formal written laws,
Yeah.
I think is what he was talking about. A
Right.
family creates their own.
So you're all gonna try to head to Madame Ophelia's now
Yes.
for the wagon. As Locke moves, you can see underneath the wagon there were some children laying there, and you kind of look on the back of his leg. Someone wrote in like quick handwriting, "I'm a knob."
That was much lighter than I was worried. You see children laying there.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Dark
We're talking about a
place there.
hand carrier.
Yeah,
there.
line up,
No,
red
they're
eyes.
underneath. They're underneath the wagon behind the wheel, and they're laughing and kind of pointing at him as he walks away.
That's fine.
I don't say anything about it at all.
I agree. You
I
should.
do mention out loud, but a place without laws, they'd be able to do things like graffiti.
Mm.
And I kind of to Katarina.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
make it
no
very
harm, no
exaggerated,
foul.
like, and then I'll
Just
wink
behind
at
him,
you.
she'll be like,
That's funny.
Madame Ophelia.
The what now?
She's a tabaxi, right?
Yeah,
Oh, Madame Ophelia.
yes.
Okay.
Madame Ophelia.
Uh,
Some of
was-
us call her Miss O, but not when she's around.
I've always appreciated the grace of the cat people. It's almost elven the way they move.
oh, when I threw one in the air, they did a flip.
Right.
It was cool. It's cool. I don't get generally when I used to dance with my tribe. They're rather Goliaths. I really couldn't throw them.
Just got a shiver.
You
Fair enough.
you majestically floated. Trin told me that word.
So,
Floated.
Majestic.
so further into camp, the music and the laughter kind of begins to fade, and the path between the wagons darkens until only the soft lanterns and the moonlight from above kind of guides you along this pathway between them. You follow it for a few minutes, and it leads to this small rise, this very small knoll, this space with this ornate wagon painted in red and green and decorated with these silver and gold holy symbols. You recognize basically all of them. It's most of the gods have been represented on it. But as you step onto this perimeter, this grass that kind of surrounds the wagon, with each step, a sort of fog just stirs, and it's just reacting to your footsteps. But every time you step and kick it up a little bit, you can see that there are these forms, these faces, just in the fog itself, and they kind of just move, and then you can see like a body of a person or something in it, and then it just fades and dissipates. A small moan or some sort of light sob or wail.
I'm gonna quietly trigger my divine sense. Look for the telltale signs of evil.
No. You don't sense evil per se, but you sense a great restlessness in the area. You sense some sort of almost magnetic attraction to the space from the ethereal plane. The disembodied, lost or wayward souls of those
Not
who have
unlike
passed.
souls that would be drawn to mediums and such. Okay.
You kind of go further up the path, getting closer to the wagon. These two massive shapes kind of step up from this sitting position and walk towards you. The lanterns kind of backlighting them. You recognize with dark vision right away that these are two very large ogres wearing ceremonial like bone necklaces, which drape across this very heavy and well-made brigandine armor. Their faces are painted bone white in the representation of skulls. They kind of just look down at you all, their arms crossed, these massive sheathed weapons at their sides.
Taller than the Goliath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. At first you thought it was packing or supplies or something that was nearby, but when they both moved and stood up, you realized it was just ogres. Trin stops short of the step up, which would lead to the door to the side of the wagon, and kind of just turns to you all.
It's the guy from that which button to press meme.
All right.
Mm.
So Madame Ophelia is the leader of the caravan. So basically it's a part of our culture. She goes by Madame Ophelia because she was basically selected to be the leader of the caravan. She gave up her previous name to take on a new one, which was Madame Ophelia, so she basically runs this whole place. And it prevents any kind of, bias.
How
or
was she chosen?
favoritism.
Some sort of democracy, or?
She's basically the matriarch, the oldest, wisest, and it's pretty powerful.
So she wasn't chosen. She just got older faster.
Yeah, but it's not so formal. It's more of a passive chosen. Everyone knows that she was the right person to take over when the old matriarch passed. And her
Right.
connection to the supernatural is not to be understated. It's not uncommon for people to be, to stick around. They want to be close to their loved ones. The Raven Queen, they are very prevalent here.
Is that a problem? I could turn them.
No, they don't want to be turned. They want to be here. They want to be close to their family, and their family is close with them.
Right, but as undead, I could push them away.
No, it's not a problem. It just works differently here, Alpheon. Like I said, there's some things about my home that won't align with your way of life.
All right, I can accept that.
So yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, you need to treat her with the utmost respect.
As I look over at the ogres.
Look, these are the ones that I told Madame Ophelia about. She's expecting us.
So one of the larger ones on the left kind of steps forward. The ground just like shakes underneath the weight of his body. He just kind of leans over and then just steps backwards and into the darkness. The other one just steps aside off to the left.
Not big.
As I start to approach the front of the tent,
The wagon.
or the wagon. Sorry, the
Yeah,
wagon.
you're at the step up.
Yeah. So I step up towards the door, and I look up at Keg. Keg. I wait for him to prompt me with the passcode.
So he takes a blank, or seemingly blank, piece of like cardstock, like a playing card material, and he just hands it to you. This giant ogre hands this thing, this little piece of paper, basically, and just hands it to you.
I look at it for a moment. 2 toads on a lock, and I hand it back.
And the ogre takes it, and then he hands it to Godric.
I look at it.
Hmm?
What does it look like?
Blank card.
Two toads on a log.
And the ogre takes it. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he puts it away, opens up his pouch, and slides it in. Proceed then.
Come on, Godric.
Oh shit! All right.
Katarina, lock. Come on.
I'll follow Trin in.
As I wave them in,
Oh, what the fuck? You see Gudrick?
All right.
and then I step inside myself.
Yeah, I'll go in last.
Oh, no, you'll go in before me.
Sure.
And then I step inside myself.
All right, well, let's stay out here. Keg, can I see that card?
No.
All right. Sit down and stare at him.
I stop, and then you hear a couple like patters of feet as I run back out.
Oh, Theon. I think it's better for this part if you just wait outside.
Fine.
Everything's gonna be good. Trust me.
As I turn and I walk back in.
What was with the card?
That was the passcode. Oh, you got it right. Don't worry about it, big guy.
Okay.
As I turn and go further in, make my way towards the main.
All right. So, one by one, each of you, except for Ulthion, kind of enter the wagon. And as you see your friends and compatriots just go inside, the heavy door closes behind in the wagon. And both the two ogres kind of, they don't actually seem to try to bar the way or anything, but it becomes apparent through their posture that they're gonna watch you the entire time you stand there.
All right. Well, I'll attempt to engage them into some sort of philosophical debate, if possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's gonna talk at them.
He's pulling a god
Talk at
You know what?
them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lecture them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
On
gonna
what,
lecture
grooming?
them on no. They can groom themselves however they want. On the history of Gwinnett. This fine convent. I'm going to give them a history lesson.
From the perspective of an.
I guess it's better than talking about the weather.
Weather's great. Spirits alive. Alright, so
What's in the wagon?
Yeah.
as the door closes, the interior basically extends to encompass so much more space than you could thought was possible or capable of from the outside. This lush, colorful interior filled with furniture, including this centerpiece table with a glass sphere and some tall white candles on it, sprawls out rocking chairs, armoires, chests. The entire floor is basically covered in these very colorful and decorative rugs. It seems devoid of any inhabitants whatsoever. The darkened corners just barely illuminated enough to see what's the details of everything that's in the room. But with gentle voice, sort of kind of purrs a greeting from one of the darkened corners. And there you see standing is a very lithe, panther-like tabaxi with these bright yellow eyes, which kind of stare out from underneath this hooded cowl. Like most of the other women that you've seen in camp, she's wearing a dress, but this is a rather ornate and flower-patterned corset with a ruffled cream-colored top. She has a long red and black rectangular pattern skirt that comes down to her ankles. This golden chain with this sapphire from a headdress kind of hangs down and rests just right on her forehead as so. And she steps forward, exiting the obscuring shadows, and walks over to Trin. And a slight grin curls from underneath the lips. And you see these sharp, cat-like teeth underneath. And then she just hugs him and picks him up off of the floor.
Oh, hi, Madame Ophelia. It's
Yeah.
been so long.
Man, she just kind of laughs, this cat-like laugh, and then just kisses him on the cheeks repeatedly, to the point where it becomes uncomfortable for the goblin. And she sets you down, and she looks at all of you. So, I see that you are Trin's friends, then.
Yep.
Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine. Well, he says that you have some issues, correct? Problems, a hex on your minds that needs to be removed.
Yes. Our memories from hell are kept from us.
They've run afoul of Hecate.
As many have. She's not the most forgiving of all the deities. But it seems in this case she seemed to have done you a favor. Did she not?
Wow.
That's
Kill Katarina.
what she claims, but we're worried that if it stays that way, she may be able to use it against us in the future.
And why would she use it against you in the future? What have you done to
she
upset
kinda
the
turns
goddess? She kind of walks away from Trin, walks over to the table where the crystal ball is, and walks around it, her hand kind of gently gliding along the tabletop, and looks straight into you. Almost like she's looking through the physical form you have into something else. Just stares at you, these deep yellow, bright panther eyes.
Well, I guess the short version is she requested obedience of me and I declined.
So she offered you to become one of her servants, and you did not want it?
Right. It might be a little more than that. She said I'm a daughter of hers. But
I
I
see.
rejected her.
And I assume you mean a true daughter, not a metaphorical one.
I believe that's correct.
Almost all female practitioners are considered daughters of Hecate when they embrace her power.
I think my connection is slightly closer.
part of her inhabits you.
I believe so.
I can see divine influence and power inside your blood, inside your soul. It radiates outward a darkness, a purity of dark magic. Perfect. A fish, like in a fishbowl, just leaps out and lands back in, like nearby.
Well, I'm worried she may hold a grudge against me and use it against my friends.
It's more than likely that she will. She's waiting for the right moment to do so.
I mean, she did storm out of the palace thingy rather angrily.
That's why we're hoping you can help us. If we can get our memories back in sort of a more controlled environment, she won't be able to use them against us later.
I understand. The gods' hexes are no trivial things. I assume Trin already tried to help you and reach the limits of his capabilities, did he not?
It was very painful.
There were complications.
A guardian in their minds?
Wasn't it like
Yeah, a manifestation of Hecate herself.
Makes sense.
But that's why I want you to try on me first before the others in case it goes wrong.
We'll have to do all of you at once. The power needed will have to draw from a very, very dark tome. You must all experience it at once. I must remove the hexes all at once, or Hecate may grow wise as to what is happening. She may intervene.
Oh dear.
There will be no time to handle them one at a time.
So like a bandage, just rip it off in one go.
So you see, she pulls back the cowl, reveal like the ears and the headdress and everything. And then her ear twitches and she kind of turns. You all make the dead very uncomfortable with your presence here. They are chatty at the moment.
What? Why? If I could ask.
They speak of the divine presence outside the wagon.
Oh, it's just Ophelia.
The dead are, how do I put it, shy. And those who have committed misdeeds are worried that divine punishment has come for them.
I explained to Ophelia how our cultures are different, and he swore to me he would abstain.
Either way, it shouldn't be of any consequence. It's just the spirits don't seem to like him much.
So I know they're evil. Good to see
Hopefully this-
Ophelia mid-conversation. I know they're evil. Sorry.
Hopefully this won't be too complicated then, and we'll be able to get him out of here as soon as possible.
Always did some creepy though.
There's something particularly strange about you as well.
What? Not that I'm aware of. I'm just a Goliath.
No mere Goliath.
What do you mean?
You are adorned in arcane runes and ritual magic.
Yes, I am a bearer of the dragon runes. On another great hunt.
He said he was a normal Goliath.
And just the strongest.
Well, he's kind of normal, like he's really strong. But
I am just out to kill a dragon to prove my people's worth to Grom.
yeah,
don't view
big
myself-
guy, wanna kill stuff, seems pretty standard.
Yes, pretty standard. I agree.
Very passionate, though.
Either way. And then you seem deeply disturbed. The weave almost avoids you, disconnecting in strange locations. It's almost if the living weave itself can't figure out what your connection to it is.
We can't seem to figure it out either.
He's broken in a number of ways. I still have more plans, even if this works. He's gonna need some additional mending. I guess would be the way to put it.
Didn't you bring him here to see if you know anything?
Our past is long, but we only need those more recent memories.
Don't worry, the spirits are just, like I said, restless. A couple of the shutters kind of just move a little bit, and then you hear a book fall off of a shelf and hit the ground. It's through them that we'll be seeking a way to connect to Hecate. I'll be using their power and their connection to the ethereal to explore and remove the hex.
So just to be sure, we're about to piss off Hecate more, then, I'm assuming, yes?
Quite possibly.
If we do it right, she should not notice.
Ooh. Even better. What we have to do after this, I would hope not to have her interrupt.
It just better all go well. Either way, this should be quite taxing. We should eat, maybe drink and relax, and allow your tense selves to be easier. So she there's another door in the room on the side, and she just calls out, "Victor, come out, please. Bring refreshments." And the door opens, and a man, an older man, kind of opens the door. He has this kind of weary look about his face and eyes, but otherwise has finely chiseled and detailed features for being probably just about above or right about middle-aged for a human. He's well dressed in this dark blue elven silk shirt with this fine doublet vest and this Sudanese wool pants, and a flat cap with a single feather. He has this wide mustache that curls out at the tips and a long pointed beard, which is fashionable for a bravadist. At his side, though, is this ornate basket hilt rapier made of Kadari steel. And Trin, you recognize him as your mentor, Von Bell. And he comes out. Trin! Oh, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. How are you feeling today?
Walks right over to shake your hand, way too hard as per usual.
It's been too long. How are you feeling?
Oh, I think I'm doing fine. I'm doing all right.
Well, that's good.
Ophelia's been taking care of me.
Yeah? Well, that's great. It's nice to know that you're in good hands with Madame Ophelia.
Yes, great hands.
Have you been enjoying the travels with the caravan?
Yes, more or less since I joined up last spring. Yes.
Oh, that's good. I bet they're learning a lot of how to play instruments from you. I heard some of the elven music. It's really coming along.
Oh, my forte, of course.
I know.
An expert on such things. Either way, yes. We've been here in Bravadis outside Coenwald for, I think, a month or so, 2 months. The track of time gets lost sometimes.
Yeah, but sometimes it's better that way.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I've been. These are some of my friends that I've been traveling with myself. We've been going on adventures.
Well, thank you for being friends with Trin. I know how he is.
I don't know what he means by that, but this is Godric, Victor the Venerable Von Bell.
He comes over and shakes your hand.
Yeah, I shake
well,
it right
you
back.
are a mighty specimen of a being. You know that. It's
Yes.
a good thing it's magically enchanted, and you just wouldn't fit in here.
I was kind of worried when the door opened.
Yeah.
He's a master bard of music, people, magic.
I will say, since you're the one who trained Trin, you did a fantastic job.
Well, he'll outgrow me someday.
Someday.
He calls me a master bard, but I'm sure you've never even heard, 5 or 6 of my great hits and ballads. Either way.
Probably not.
Probably not. They'll just get played everywhere, but whatever.
And this is the beautiful and powerful Katerina. She's that she's a mage with dark magics.
Oh, I see.
Kind of like Madame Ophelia.
I wouldn't assume that at all. And he gives this bow.
It's a
Looks
pleasure.
up at you. You are a beautiful sight to be seen for someone so young and vibrant. Dark
Thank
magic?
you.
Where did you practice? Where did you learn? He said you were a mage.
She's a natural.
Oh, a sorceress.
Yes.
That must be an interesting story. Most sorceresses and sorcerers have interesting tales to share about the day that they were born. They learned from their parents. Storms, earthquakes, fires erupting in the
Ritual
forests
sacrifices.
outside. We should talk about it sometime over some tea.
At least the
Sure.
positive highlights.
Sure, that would be pleasant.
It's wonderful.
And
And a warforged.
Yeah, he's like almost a total person. He's,
Almost a total person. That's a high compliment from the goblin.
Well,
He just winks.
He's an
Mhm.
observer.
almost is more than I've been accused in a while.
You've been accused of being less than normal, evil, monster. What are we talking about? What have you been accused of? You know, I've met 3 or 4 other warforged in my travels.
Maybe.
Yes. They're all just like you, overly serious with no sense of humor.
Sounds
And
about
also
right.
completely lacking in manners.
Also about right.
But I'm just kidding. You're obviously pleasant company. No reason to be worried about you whatsoever, right?
I might go mad and stab you.
Well, then you'd just be one of my many exes. Oh, see, he laughs. So he does have a sense of humor. So you're not like the other warforged then.
No, I suppose I'm not.
Either way.
And Katarina, you don't have to be so nervous about the black magic stuff. No one here is going to turn you into the guards.
Perfect. I'm on a bit on guard in Bravatis.
Understandably so. I get where you're coming from. The Inquisition is overzealous, but when you understand the history of what the Bravadist went through with before the circles existed, there were problems with magic. Unregistered tap power, just running wild, necromancers and people, long before we truly understood what the balance between negative and positive energy in the weave meant. The world was assailed by innumerous horrors.
You seem to be very knowledgeable about such things.
I should be. Well, I'm a lore walker, a part of the Silver Choir. His name is Trin.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's told you that I'm the one who got him in.
Yes, he's mentioned you before.
Yes.
I'm certainly glad I have Trin to vouch for me in these lands.
Yeah, here and there. My work doesn't go so far as some other organizations might. But how about this?
As I grab some of the drinks from Von Bell and
Yes.
pass them out.
Yes. Here you are.
A toast to reunions.
Mm-hmm. 2 reunions.
Reunions and fond friends.
And
I-
to new friends as well.
Mm.
I'll take a drink.
I hand my mug over to Godric.
I just drink them both.
Well, if I meant to be
So there's
relaxed.
some cakes and some snacks, and they bring out a poached bird, and they invite you to eat. They basically just share some interesting stories about Trin and some of the travels they've gone through, what Suana's like, and magic, and the nature of like the history of where the circles came from, and explains a great deal to you. They sing a few songs together, and just sharing the good times. And this takes about an hour and 40 minutes, 2 hours or so. And then Von Bell kind of turns to Trin. So Trin, when are we? How are things with the Silver Choir? I haven't heard from them in quite some time.
Oh, well, still fighting for the cause, the good old fight.
Mhm.
Now the attention's largely focused on horrible dragons trying to burn everything down as dragons do, I suppose.
Yes, I've heard about the horrible fighting in the war out in the invasion of Teutoburg and the Red Hand's legions.
Yeah, that's only some parts of it. I guess basically chromatics are looking to play some chess, and the metallics aren't really having it. And so it's not out official war, but the rumblings, the precursors to a great event. And these great heroes are working to counteract that. They're fighting against the chromatic dragons, and that's why I'm here to help them with, of course, Madame Ophelia's assistance.
So the lore walkers gave you an assignment? Well, I mean, obviously the other agents didn't, but I'm sure you got the information from them, so the Silver Choir sent you after them.
Yeah, it was actually a direct assignment, given my talents that some of them I picked up from Madame Ophelia. You remember how I took some training under her and then, and left? That's where I went.
Yeah, I remember, and you can see kind of nervously, like, touches his neck, and there's, like, this discoloration in the skin here. He just, I remember training underneath Ophelia.
Yeah, well,
And why it was necessary.
I was just trying to use some of those talents to make up for, previous shortcomings is all. And they needed some particular skills, but I guess I'm still not quite good enough. But in fairness, it's like deity magic, so it's kind of up there. So
Well, it makes sense why he brought you here to her. If he wasn't capable of doing it, you needed an expert, someone else who could. I've seen Madame Ophelia do some exceptionally gifted things. She's no stranger to the things that haunt the in-between. Either way, I'm feeling a bit of weariness overtake me, Trin, and as glad as I am to see you, I think I should retire and allow Madame Ophelia to do what she needs to do.
Oh, all right, Master Von Bell.
He gets up and have a good night. Trust what she says. Trin and Ophelia won't let anything happen to you while you're here. This place is safe and it's watched over. He kind of stands up from his chair and heads back through the door. Closes behind him. Madame Ophelia opens up the front door where Ophion is. And two other younger Tabaxi come in the room.
You can hear me outside.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was the War of Sorrows. You're not listening, Cake.
The door closes.
I don't envy those ogres.
Trin, I'm sure you don't recognize them because they were both very little the last time you were here, but I've taken on my apprentices for the possibility of taking my spot here in the future. But, so the two Tabaxi are variations of jungle cats, leopard printed, wearing similar dresses and headdress and similar kind of fashion and style to Madame Ophelia. But this is Yenna and Cosetta. They should be assisting us with some of the preparation for tonight. You girls, go clean the table while I prepare some of the components for the ritual. And they both go right to hurriedly, like, picking up the wine glasses, the wine bottle, and clearing off the table and setting everything back where it was before you sat down to eat.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, and Cassetta, are you thinking of your time coming short soon?
No, I don't think so. They're not my first apprentices, but we must find who in the caravan has the aptitude for leading.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Before my time is up, I will probably have maybe 8 or 9 different apprentices.
Well, you always were a good teacher. You have a knack for it. It's just hard to think of you ever, being replaced, is all.
Well, we all have our time. It will eventually come. She's over kind of going through some books and grabbing various potions and essences and components off the shelves and bringing them over to the table. Or they're readying them. A white powder is handed to the one that she identified as Zieta, the taller, leaner one. And she begins pouring it on the ground in these runic, arcane symbols. After maybe an additional 30 minutes of prep, they bring over the chairs and situate them around the table so that you can all fit. So all 5 of you, Yenna and Cosetta, are dismissed, and they go back out the front door. So she asks that you take your seats at the table.
I plop down.
Come on, everybody. I took my seat.
If this is going to be anything like last time, I'm assuming this is going to hurt.
Well, you know what they say. Sometimes the doctor has to cut in order to heal.
I've never heard that. I've never
It's-
gone to a doctor.
It's a saying. Well. Thankfully, you have your help.
So she goes over to the bookshelf one last time and grabs an additional tome. This one is a heavy bound, dark-looking tome, and on the front of it are 2 crossed keys. And she walks over to the table and she drops it, and there's this resounding thud, and the wagon kind of shakes underneath it. This is one of Hecate's holy tomes. It explains her powers and is often given to devout followers of her path, those who practice with her magic and such. We'll be using this as the base for connecting to those who've passed in order to reach into your minds and use the hex. The thing about Hecate's magic that Trin might not have been capable of doing is that at the very base of her curses, it's always loss and death. There's always something there. Some other power, some soul or spirit that has found itself attached to her domain. Either way. So, as the 4 of you sit on these richly carved stools around that matching circular table, that's really at this point seems just big enough for all of you to fit around perfectly. The white candles and the crystal ball kind of standing at its center. Madame Ophelia asks that you all kind of join hands on the table if possible.
Take my hand, Jack.
So.
Dark magic as well. Why is your hand so sweaty, Trin?
Because I'm nervous.
She opens up
Not a great time to be nervous.
the book, and it just, almost as if a spiritual wind kind of just kicks all the pages over, and it stops in a specific space. And she begins reading from this tome, and the light on the candles begins to flicker, and the whole room begins to sort of dim, and the crystal ball kind of pulsates, and there's a power. She then asks that you all close your eyes and just allow yourselves to drift into your own minds, into your souls. As you do, you can hear and almost in the mind's eye see like this ethereal plane and see into it. You can hear the sounds of the rustling dead speaking to you in your ears. They talk to you from beyond, trying to convince you to turn away. You hear a distant scream wail. The wagon shakes underneath your feet and the shutters slam. And then you become keenly aware of a steady beating of your own heart that persists and grows louder. And then finally, a cold power embraces you, dulling your senses, and all the world fades. And you're lost within the bounds of your own minds. And everyone except for Trin needs to leave.
What?
The fuck?
What?
Well, since we're all leaving Hero Zone, you guys are fucking awesome. Thanks for raiding 34 people, you wonderful people. I hug your face, but I'm running away.
Stick around. Whatever is about to happen is going to be freaking awesome.
No, road.
I said, kill out!
So, as you push past the gathering power of Hecate, you once again can dive into their minds. And you see the gates to Hecate's realm. The gate to Beator guarded by Cerberus. The realm kind of unfurls as if being revealed by a moving black miasma, seeing just the gate. You hear and can see Madame Ophelia. She's already standing at the gate, her hand pressed against it. You can see the forms, the ethereal forms of ghostly figures are gathered around her, their faces wrought with concern, touching her shoulders and latching onto her. And off to the right, you hear a growl and the stirring of some massive creature. In that darkness, in that veil, 3 sets of eyes waking and stirring. Hecate's barrier and its defenses are aware of your presence, but currently don't seem to be able to act. Madame Ophelia turns to you. Trin, please come here. Come with me.
Okay, Madame Ophelia. As I try and move towards her.
And at first, you feel as though you're walking through deep water, a thick substance. You're weighed down. As you approach, you begin to kind of climb out of it, lifting yourself upwards. There's a flash of memory. And you find yourself suddenly not inside that realm anymore, but outside of a doorway. One that you recognize, a chipped blue door in a hallway. And your hand is reaching towards a handle. And you can hear on the other sides of the door yelling and screaming. And a voice speaks to you, disembodied from behind. This dark, evil entity weighing on you. And something is telling you that you're making a mistake by opening the door. This voice, your conscience, maybe something else. And then you pull your hand away from it. You know what's on the other side of that door. It's your own dark, painful memories. The night that everything changed for Von Bell, yourself, and Madame Ophelia, where your fates were intertwined by something larger at work. And the presence continues to urge you on. It tells you, just open the door. Open it. There's almost like a screech or a scratching kind of caw to it. But you resist. And the door crumbles before you, like decaying over time. And on the other side, once again, Madame Ophelia. Trin, hurry, come over here. We need to work fast if we're to remove the hex.
Okay. Let's try and move towards her again.
So, she just pulls her hand away from the door. Trin, I sense so much pain and so much suffering for these individuals. They would be driven mad or destroyed by what they experienced. Are you sure that we should be opening these doors?
Well, they're gonna save everybody. But they can't do that if they go mad or whatever's behind this door is weaponized. It's one thing to have memories, it's another thing to have them horribly used against you, right?
You say so. I shall speak words of power and have the doors open. Be forewarned that we may see flashes and experience some of their suffering ourselves. We may see what such terrible forces caused this to happen to begin with.
Do you think I'm making a mistake again? I don't know any other answers.
Only the gods know if we are making another mistake. But you seem sure that they must be freed from this. And Hecate will use it against them in the future. More than likely, especially since the young girl seems to have spurred her offers for power.
And I'm sure of it. And it's gonna be in the worst possible time and place. At least here it's something we can try and work through. Even if they're stained like me. Right?
I don't know.
Well, I have to believe in them.
Then let us open it together. And she chants incites some powerful arcane spell, and the doors shudder, their weight grinding open. And then there's a flash of light. And you find yourself in a dungeon room. You see the party members, all of them in the room, in pain, disheveled, whipped and beaten, tormented. All the while, this winged red devil gleefully takes part in tearing information, taking their flesh and punishing them for not being forthcoming with the information that they have, with information she seeks. No, information that she needs from them. Day after day after day, you experience this torment with them, feeling the pain, the lashing of the chains, dispirited and gleeful lust that the chain devils make upon them in these rooms, separated, left in darkness, suffocated, almost taken to the point of death and brought back at the last instance, flashing through pain over and over and over again. Then another room. You see a cloak, a figure. Figure has horns. You recognize this cloak, the color, the form. A tiefling enters the room. She walks over to Katerina, hands bound, hanging from chains from the ceiling, and she whispers in her ear. You see the face. It says Mina. You hear soft words. You hear something of Glacia. Wishes to help you escape. And it flashes. As Mina's gone. The party's in the room again. Another round of torturing as the devil who identifies herself as Lilith tortures them endlessly. But they don't give up the information she's asking for. Nothing about Hizit, nothing about the plans, nothing about machinations. They know nothing about the warlock Riken. Nobody knows anything about him. She's frustrated, shows disdain. They're left again in the darkness for weeks, prodded at by lemurs, goaded by imps who taunt them about the evil things that will befall their family and friends on the material plane if they don't give up. Finally, once again, in the room, a figure approaches Katerina. It's Hecate. She also speaks to Katerina. There's tension and power in the room with them. She offers Katerina the deal. Take her protection and not have to resuffer these same memories again. Not have to live with them. And for doing so, she needs to give her something, somebody, a soul, a servant of her arch nemesis, the Veiled Queen. Hecate disappears. Katerina is now explaining to everyone in the chamber, expecting another round of torment and torture. They're always brought together. The party agrees. that they can bear it no more. They'll take Hecate's blessing. As Mina enters the room once again, she hands Katerina an amulet. She tells her, this will allow your friends to find you. They should be able to open a portal to this plane. This will bypass the protections, the charms that Beator has, that keeps interlopers at bay, keeps them out of Lilith's personal dungeon, away from the prying eyes of the devils, the lords of the Nine Hells. She will help them. She takes a key and unlocks the chains. The party falls to the ground. She gathers them their arms, their weapons, and brings them to them. But she turns and says, you must leave one of you behind. Collateral. For the lady. Nothing seems right. What you were told doesn't make sense. The party confirms, they discuss. Hargraves volunteers. The mighty Goliath, the blood hunter, true warrior for good against evil, agrees to stay behind. He will stay and bear the brunt of the torture and the torment on behalf of them so they can leave. They are now in the city streets running through Avernus towards a portal. They can see something, faint figures on the other side. They call to them. But the legions of the devils are all around. They fight for every step, every breath, every bit further, every inch of ground they take. They must slay their way through imps and bearded devils and all those denizens of the hells as they close in on them. You then see Brittle. She stops.
No.
She turns to look at the portal.
Why did you stop?
And she tells them, let Patty know that I will miss her. And she pushes lock through the portal, and it closes, left behind. You are then in the ethereal plane, far from the torment and danger. It's all gone. Madame Ophelia falls to the ground, clutching at her chest, at her body. You can see this black ichor crawling up her arms and into her body, being absorbed.
Madame Ophelia!
As I reach down, I try and reach out to pull the ichor off her.
All it does is stick to you and starts to go into your hands. So she turns, her eyes alight with pure white orbs. Trin.
What?
They cannot deal with this. There is no other way. This pain, all of it will destroy them. We must find a way to circumvent it. I cannot break this hex. It will destroy their minds and their souls. They will be rent apart.
But how? Tell me how. I'll do it.
So
What
she
am I supposed to
stands
do?
up. I must bind other souls to their bodies. They will absorb the damage, the harm, and all the torment. The souls will take the brunt of it, and they will be destroyed. This is the
Destroying
only.
souls?
This is the only way, Trin. They must be host to these souls. I am creating an additional barrier that will keep them from harm. Hecate will unleash this madness upon them at some point. They will never know that this has happened if we do not tell them that that is the case. They must be kept unawares. If they are aware, then there's a chance that the daughter of Hecate who is more than likely linked to her in more ways than one, will alert her to the ruse.
But you're talking about destroying souls, wiping them from existence.
Yes, a heavy price to be paid for their safety. If you truly care about them, we must do this, and time is not something we have in abundance at the moment. I must incite the seance and bring the souls and bind them to them.
There's no other way?
It's unfortunate that the souls would suffer, and there is no other way. I cannot remove the hexes as they are. They cannot bear that weight of torment again, all flooding in at once. We are talking months, year of being tortured endlessly by the devils of the 9 hells.
Well, I understand it's
You must make this decision. We either bind the souls, or we let whatever plays out. It's ultimately up to you. You know them best. If I'm underestimating their capabilities, you should tell me. If I'm underestimating or misunderstanding their willpower, you must tell me.
There's so much that lies before them even still.
So she falls to the ground and groans. I must have something to do with this evil.
Okay. Let's do it. I'll bear that burden. May the gods forgive me.
So as you look at her, she stands up and she begins begins a new enchantment. And the world begins to kind of shake and fade as it's all pulled together. Just beyond her, you see outstretched wings, feathery wings, and a form looking out from behind her shoulder, and it walks closer to you. It's white eyes and dead-looking, rotting body, this abyssal form coming forward. It's him. He's coming for you. His essence still lingers.
How is he here?
Madame Ophelia continues to recite and chant, and you're snapped out of the plane. You're in the room. You see these spirits hanging over the bodies of your friends. Madame Ophelia is being lifted to her feet in the air. And she finishes the final word. And with groans of pure agony, the souls of these deceased individuals, who will never now pass on to Elysium, are slammed into your friends' bodies, who shudder with the force and power of them hitting them.
Sorry.
And the room lights up. The darkness fades.
I pull my sword as I turn.
Viscergath, don't you interfere!
As I like kind of point around the room, like seeking out for him.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing in there. Just you and your friends.
He was here. He was here.
A coldness runs up your body to the core. And you hear its voice. You can't escape me. As it fades.
My sense,
Madame Ophelia falls to the ground, exhausted.
as my senses
power.
come back to me, I put my sword away and I run over to Madame
Ophelia, are you okay?
as I try and partially pick her up. I'm little, so I'm just like,
Mm.
setting her up, I guess.
And she kind of, Trin. Trin. Her eyes are still like orbs of white.
I'm here.
Your friends begin to kind of stir and they groan and begin blinking and waking up.
I saw him. He didn't hurt you, did he?
Who? Who did you see?
Him. You know?
As I look over towards the door Von Bell left from,
Mm-hmm. So she sits up. No, of course not. We both know that he was never going to be fully gone. He will be back someday. He promised so. But this is the burden that you left myself and Von Bell with. As you all stir and awake to hear them having this conversation. Your bodies racked with pain, sore, exhausted from what they underwent.
Son of a crom.
Do we remember anything? Trin, what happened?
It worked.
I don't remember anything.
That's right, and you won't. Not ever.
Why not? I thought you said the whole point was for us to remember.
It was, but you're protected, and that's what matters.
No, we were protected before, technically, and now someone else is protecting us?
Trust me. Hecate, she can't do anything to you.
Do we have to worry about anyone taking advantage of it?
No. No, you have nothing to worry about, Godric. It's over.
as I
So the door slams open, breaching into the magic barrier, and Ulthion comes in, rushing inward.
What's going on?
What?
What happened?
I have no idea.
The energies. What do you mean you have no idea? Trin! What is going on?
The ritual's done and they're protected. It took a lot out of Madame Ophelia, though.
Protected by what?
By magic, it's sealed now. Their memory can't leak out. Hecate can't interfere.
Do you trust us, Trin?
Yes!
Then tell us.
I've told you what you needed to know.
So then you don't trust us.
Madame Ophelia in here still?
Yeah, she struggles to her feet, helping with Trin helping her up. You are all fine. Your memories were expunged. There is nothing in there of use for anybody. Only pain and suffering. You never have to worry about them again. Your bodies underwent a transformation of such. It may take weeks for the effects to wear off. You should consider staying with us until then. She kind of stumbles for a moment. Trin, help me to the door to the room. I must rest.
Oh,
And I
of
must
course.
speak to somebody.
Of course.
as I help her.
So she kind of looks over her shoulder and turns to you all. May the maiden Taylor have mercy on you. And she walks through the door and closes it behind her.
What is going on?
It is normal for a goddess of healing to be sought after when you've gone through something this painful. I suppose. What?
That's the problem. Trin is doing what he normally does. He dodges, avoids, and says nothing.
That's exactly what you trusted him to do.
No, I just thought he would trust us enough to say something.
Well, maybe he will in time.
Well,
The energies around this place already stood my hair on end, but whatever just happened was something about it, something terrifyingly familiar.
Trin, you didn't make another deal or anything like that, did you?
No,
Did you trade one enemy for another?
no.
Was this... There's no strings attached, and you're not lying.
There are no strings attached. I did what I promised I would do. I did what the Silver Choir assigned me to do. And I did not violate your trust.
I just want to make sure you didn't offer anything else up.
No. The three of you, you've paid enough. I couldn't ask anything more of you.
I wasn't saying that. I want to make sure you didn't give anything.
So as you look at Trin, you can see that there are marks like faded scars on his arms and body, his neck and his face, and a sort of blackish tint to some of the veins on his body.
What did...
Trin, did you take their memories onto yourself?
No. I didn't take them. I saw some things. Just like when I entered Godric's mind before. I
I
was just doing my job.
kneel down by Trin.
Trin, you only have one job. And that's to be our friend. You are a member of Thunder Dangerous. You are a warrior, a bard, and above all, you are our friend. You will do not bear this burden alone.
I lean down and I give him a hug. And kind of pat his back.
They don't know what you went through.
There's some things you should know. Of the things I saw. I know it's not the same as having your memories back. But it might make you feel better about the things that did happen. The first thing you should know is about Hargraves. You were all being tortured day in and day out. And then they left you to commiserate with one another. But you had a chance to get out, but one of you had to stay. And you fought about it together because you're heroes. But ultimately, Hargraves volunteered to stay behind. He chose to. You didn't abandon him. And even then, it wasn't an easy way out. You had to fight and claw for every step. And Brittle! I look over at Locke. Brittle saved you. She had a chance to get out with everyone else. But she turned and fought the devils to give you all a chance to get out. You specifically, Locke. It was all set up.
What was it set up?
the whole deal. Getting out of hell. Hargraves is still there.
In hell?
You were lied to. That's why my message never came back. He's still there, paying the price so that you can do what you need to do here. He's still collateral. I can't believe you all held on as long as you did. But you don't need the rest of it. And it turns out that Glacia is responsible for it all. If we want Hargraves back, it's only through her that we can try and save him.
Didn't she want something from us? Didn't she want a cult to pay the price?
Devils always want something. And when you think it's enough, they'll ask for more.
Would there be...
That might be a starting point.
Glacia is related to Takesis. Not that I think that means much.
Copyright.
When the fuck did they get here?
Not that I think that means much in Avernus, but they are related.
But you all are heroes, and you didn't abandon Brittle. You're exactly who I thought you were. And you went through so much. You didn't give them any information, but it was something I saw. You don't have to tell me either. But who was Riken?
I do not know who Riken is. The name sounds familiar, but I don't know this person. I have not heard. I've heard his name, I think. Wait, didn't he have a?
The book. And one of the members
he
of
was
the
a-
statue. And
Yeah, his statue
Greencrest.
was in Greencrest. He was a member of, well, the previous us. We kind of inherited what they were doing.
Well, she's after him or something having to do with him. I couldn't get very much. But those are the things you need to know. You don't need to remember all the pain. And you're protected. And that's all I can tell you, and you need to be able to trust me on that. These magics, they're strange. I guess that's kind of our way.
As I motion to the cart, the room I'm in.
Trin, I may have been angry at first. And that is just because I expected something else. But we'll trust you. You are a member of Thunder Dangerous. When I said I would fight for you, even you, Locke, and you, I mean it.
This,
As I motion to the veins in the star and stuff.
this is something else. I made a mistake and I got tied into some really horrible things. Madame Ophelia helped me like she helped you. Sometimes when you go through things, you don't come out on the other end unscathed. They're just the stains of the sins of my past, I guess. There's a reason Von Bell stays with Madame Ophelia. It's because I messed up.
Who was Von Bell?
He was my mentor. Was my mentor. The Venerable Von Bell. His name's actually Victor. Maybe. I don't know. If it was something else, he'd never tell me.
Like Trin.
Kind of like Trin. But he can't be who he was. And that's because of me. And so, I've taken his place with the Silver Choir and the Lore Walkers. And now I've done my job. Maybe I made up a little bit for the mistakes I made.
There's not a ledger, necessarily. You commit dark deeds or you commit good deeds. You don't necessarily make up for anything you ever do wrong, but it is one's hope that at the end of a long life you look back and see more good than bad. You don't erase the stain, you grow from it.
You learn from your mistakes.
Do his wounds look superficial, the markings and everything, or does he look like physically wounded, hurting?
It looks like they were physical wounds.
Okay.
But now you guys get to go on and make a bunch of marks in the good column. And you're safe to do so. Well, Locke still has some things to work through.
I think you might be wrong.
I like the way you worded that.
Because I don't think it's that we are moving. I don't think it's this us that is moving forward. It's we. They're coming with us.
I was assigned to you for a very specific purpose.
Well, now you're being reassigned to us.
By us.
You wouldn't let me leave the party even for a moment.
No, you have things to do.
Yes, and so do you. How are you supposed to write an epic tale of Thunder Dangerous and the dragons they slayed if you weren't there to see it?
I can't let you go. You said you wrote a song about me. I've yet to hear it.
I am a war master, and if the Silver Choir wishes to keep you, I will wage war upon them. You're coming, Trin.
You're not just a member of the Silver Choir. You're a member of Thunder Dangerous.
You're the heart of Thunder Dangerous.
Trin, I can think of multiple occasions where I'd be dead without you.
And we can
Yeah, that's true. It saved your life that one time.
So we need you here for the next time, too.
How else are we supposed to charge into battle without Trin the Immortal?
And I guess, if you're putting it that way, my job's not totally done, because Locke's brain's still broken.
You know, up until very recently I was a law master. Perhaps you give me the exact letter of the mission you were given.
Are you about to just... Wear them, I think is the word.
Magistrate.
Yes.
I will magistrate the fuck out of them to keep you.
Orate the shit.
All right, there we go.
I'm not sure if that'll work. But
Oh, it'll work.
As I reach into my bag and I pull out a golden leaflet. And I walk over and I hand it to you.
Those are my orders.
Oh, these are terribly written. There's holes all over them. You're ours. We've got you.
That's if you want to be, that is. Let's not be... he said the word presumptuous.
No. No, unacceptable. I didn't get to choose to stay with Thunder Dangerous or leave. He doesn't get to choose. In it to the end. If I've got to put up with Godric's snoring, so do you.
Who else am I going to carry around through town?
Sure.
Sure, Dr. Ophelia, and I lifted him once and he cried.
Maybe Burp.
He's big.
That's alright. Well, thank you. I'm just honestly glad that you're all okay.
Thank you, Trin. Don't know what you went through. Thank you.
And I give him a hug.
And don't worry. I know that we'll probably try in some way, shape, or form to get Hargraves back. One way or another, maybe we can try to help you with some of your past mistakes.
Maybe. That's part of the beautiful part of being alive is you get the chance, right?
And devils do love their deals. We could make another.
If we have to go kill an entire cultist sect to get Hargraves back, I'm okay
Oh
with that.
no, the tragedy. An entire sect of evil cultists no longer upon this planet.
Maybe with this information, we can bring Brittle's daughter some peace.
I say to Lieutenant Locke.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
If she held off the devils, did she make it? Do we know?
I don't know.
It seems unlikely, doesn't it?
Do you know why she chose to fight for Locke? I can only imagine that'll be one of the questions she asks.
Because I fell behind.
Because just like you, she's a hero. Either way, I'm very tired.
Well,
I think I need to get some rest.
where would you like to rest?
There's still some cleanup. Yenny? Casetta?
So the two Tabaxi apprentices open the door and come in. We were told to make places to rest available to you, so we have arranged such things. If you wouldn't mind following us to your lodgings.
That would be
I'm
excellent.
sure Madame Ophelia explained that you'll more than likely need to spend some time with us. We are ready to oblige that.
You've done enough, Trin.
And at that, I'll just scoop my arm underneath his legs and just carry him.
Bork, bork.
The wild caravan dogs make as much noise as the city dogs.
Mm.
Yeah, but we actually take care of them.
Mm.
They seem nice.
So you all exit the wagon?
Yeah, I close my eyes and lean against Godric's chest.
You go outside following Cosetta and Diana. You find two unconscious ogres outside on the ground.
What did that take you, 6 seconds?
It depends on how you define what I did. Perhaps we move on.
Definitely. Yeah,
They're snoring. Either way, they take you to a series of tents, a particularly large one kind of at the center for you all to sleep in, where they've prepared beds and food and places to sleep and space for you all to get rid of the wear and tear on your bodies and your minds, your souls.
As
And,
Trin lays down to sleep, I'll just say a quiet prayer to the Seldarine. Great watchers of the wood, my friend is in need of a little extra care tonight. Please bless him with the protection you would normally afford me. And I'll cast protection from evil on him so he can sleep in peace, hopefully.
Okay. Anything else before bed?
Hey, depending how cold the weather is, I'll take my cloak off and tuck it around Trin just to make sure he's extra warm.
It's summer.
Summer? Then yeah, I won't.
Do it
No,
Make him sweat.
no, that's rude.
All right.
Going to sleep.
Yeah. So in soft beds with blankets and the cool night air kind of blowing in, you settle in for a well-deserved and needed rest. Until next Friday.
Motherfucker.
Oh.
Jeez.